Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wednesday. We're a little later than usual because AEW tends to go over 9 now. So it's 9:10 Central Time here in San Antonio. Welcome to the experience. I'm Drew. And with me, as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com and Spinebuster Tees on Instagram, too.
Nice. And we're live on Spreaker, and we're live on YouTube. My YouTube channel. Are we live on your YouTube channel?
No.
Okay. So we're live, people. And we're here, and it's creeping up on the end of August, man. We're getting towards the end of the year. This I mean, did July actually happen?
Yeah, it did. Kind of crazy, but yeah, it did. We're at the end of August now, so.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, we got about 4 years left, or was it 4? Not 4 years. Jesus Christ. 4.5 months left in the year, so let's end it with a bang. But we're gonna start the show how we usually start things off, and just by doing show reviews. Let's start all the way back.
Can I call out Audible real quick?
Sure.
For that,
of course.
Can we start off with Terry Funk? I think probably people want to hear that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, like I think that's more appropriate. We could talk about review the shows any other time, but like we lost a legend today, so.
Right. Let me pull that up real quick. Terry Funk. All right. Terry Funk, WWE Hall of Famer, wrestling legend, Texas wrestling legend.
Yeah.
Passed away today at 79. I know Mick Foley posted something about him, and that was. I mean, they're like brothers almost.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard the news, so his birthday passed not too long ago, and I don't know if we spoke about it or whatnot, but like, I looked down, I was like, damn, man, like his hair got really gray. He didn't really look well in the picture, and I was like, man, like I hope he's all right. And sure enough, I was watching, I watched Terry Funk versus Ric Flair, the I Quit match. And I was watching that earlier today before I found out that he passed away, which was crazy. But saw the news, and the first person I thought about when I saw that was Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was immediately the first person I thought about. Then I thought about Ric Flair and of course Mick Foley as well. But yeah, man, like we lost basically wrestling's Jesus. We lost him today, and all of our heroes end up going sooner or later, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt as much. So
right. I kind of piggybacking off of what you just said. Like he, there's news coming out that he wasn't in the best of health. The last thing I remember him in was it was on a Dark Side of the Ring episode. I'm forgetting what was it about. It was about what was that? What was that? Federation out of Japan? Obviously not New Japan. FMW. There you go. He was, on there to talk about it. And one thing I would say about Terry Funk is just like anytime you ever saw him in interviews, he just looked like he was just happy. He always looked like he was relaxed and just chill. Like he just
he loved wrestling, man.
Yeah, he loved wrestling. He was the Funker. The Funker. I like the story that the Dudley Boys tell when they were in Japan, and they got off a subway, and Terry Funk he literally just like starts peeing in the middle of this like subway station, and Devon just goes, "Terry, you can't do that here," and Terry just goes, "I'm the Funker." Just in that, I can't do his voice the way most people can. But Terry, he was a legend.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just again, he was a legend. What else can we say that hasn't been said?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that a lot of people came out on Twitter and Instagram too as well. A lot of people were very touched by Terry Funk, and Terry, he was very integral as a part of ECW. ECW, the very first pay-per-view, Very Legal, 97.
Remember that?
Without Terry Funk, I don't know, like, if ECW would have, continued the heights that it went, right? You know what I mean? Because, at the time, Terry Funk was the biggest star on that show. Like, yeah, you had your Rob Van Dams and your Sabus and your Tazes and your Tommy Dreamers and, Sandmans and Ravens, but again, they weren't household names. They weren't huge stars. A lot of people knew them up in the Northeast, Philadelphia, New York, that area, but Terry Funk made ECW legitimate brand when they went to their first pay-per-view. So, so he's a guy that was ahead of his time as far as interviews is concerned. You could go back and watch a Terry Funk interview from any era, from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and he was ahead of his time, and his promos still hold up today. But there'll be not another Terry Funk, and again, you can go online, and we have a very, very long show tonight, possibly, but you can look up, like what Mick Foley said and what Ric Flair said. Ric Flair even got mad at ESPN. He said it. I'll just read this tweet real quick. He said, "Damn it, ESPN at ESPN. Terry Funk died, and as usual, you're talking about another football player being arrested yesterday. Shocker. Shame on you." Obviously, he's very emotional about Terry Funk, but everyone ought to be. You know what I mean? Because Ric Flair even said like he learned a lot from Terry Funk. So again, like that, if you have that much of an influence, even on a guy like Ric Flair, who's, known as probably one of the greatest of all time, that means that your career, your everything that you did must have really meant something. And, WWE obviously already made a 3-minute tribute. It's on their Twitter as well. So yeah, definitely, if you're a wrestling fan, if you really are a wrestling fan, if you haven't seen anything of Terry Funk, go watch a promo tonight. Watch a match. Watch some antics from him, and just just know that a guy like Terry Funk paved the way for a lot of wrestlers that we take granted for today. So, rest in peace, Terry Funk.
Rest in peace to the Funker. Oh man, lost another great one. I find myself having these conversations with people, where it's just like our childhood heroes are going.
Yeah, and I think we take them for granted. We really do. You know what I mean? So,
sucks.
Really, really appreciate them as they're here. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I made, one of my shirts I have on my website has Terry Funk on it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like any fake love here. Like, I designed the shirt and I put Funk on the shirt because I know how important he was, to wrestling, to obviously to hardcore wrestling as well. But even before that, he was an NWA world champion. You know what I mean? In the 70s, he was the NWA world champion, and he had great battles against Jack Briscoe and fucking Harley Race, and so he's before the hardcore stuff, before he was blowing himself up with Anita in Japan in FMW, he was a fucking legitimate badass pro wrestler, and but again, it's very, 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 very sad that he's gone, and to your point, Drew, we unfortunately we will be losing more legends throughout the next few years, and that's just the way it is. That's just what life is, and it's hate to say it, but it's just the reality of it all. So
yeah, man, just appreciate them appreciate the greatness, the greats while you have them.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you never know when they're going to leave, just like that.
Yeah,
but again, rest in peace to the Funker, one of the greats, if not the greatest. So let's let's talk about the shows. We can kind of breeze through these really quick if you're up for it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, like I said, these past few days for wrestling have been kind of, I wouldn't say they've been terrible, but they're one of those things of like, if you missed it, you didn't really miss much, except for maybe one match, but or two matches. But SmackDown from Friday Night SmackDown from August the 18th happened. It was in Toronto, celebrating 25 years of Edge. They even showed a vignette of Edge with a bunch of superstars talking about Edge, talking about what they love about Edge. They think he's great. I missed the first part of SmackDown because I was not available. So, but the beginning of it was Grayson Waller, the effect with Rey Mysterio and Santos, and basically Grayson Waller stirring the shit. So next week is going to be Rey and Grayson Waller in a non-title match. Next, you had LA Knight versus Austin Theory for your United States title championship with The Miz on commentary. The Miz costing LA Knight the match. So Austin Theory is going to be getting his rematch pretty soon against Rey. You had Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control in a tag team match. Okay match, can't complain. With the faces winning, Belair and Flair. What else did I miss? The Street Profits versus the OC. Street Profits getting the win. Street Profits coming out wearing all black. It's weird because they're in this faction with Bobby Lashley, but they haven't really changed anything about them other than their attire. Like, there's really nothing unique or different about them. But maybe that'll come soon. I don't know. But Paul Heyman gives an update on the Bloodline, says that Jimmy is gonna be here next week. And the source he got it from, he can't reveal from him. And then the main event, you had Sheamus versus Edge. Edge's quote-unquote last match in the WWE. His last scheduled match with the company. A good match, good wrestling match. I kind of wish they didn't go through so many commercial breaks. I kind of wish they had given him more time to really kind of get everything going before they went to commercial break. They're just small little nitpicks. But good match. The crowd seemed to be into it for obvious reasons. They were booing Sheamus anytime Sheamus got any offense in. But as we saw, Edge got the win. Beth and his two daughters were at ringside, and there was another guy who he hugged. Who was that?
You talking about ringside?
Yeah, because there was Beth, there was his kids, and there was another guy that he hugged. Who was that? If you know,
I don't know.
I'm assuming that's family. I don't know, but
family of some sort. I don't know.
I mean, I guess people assumed that there was going to be an angle with Sheamus where he attacks Edge or somebody comes out to attack Edge, but that wasn't the case. Edge just celebrated and went to dark, and then he did a speech off camera to where Sheamus teased he was going to hit him with his shillelagh or his stick or something, and then he ended up giving it to Edge. So he gave Edge his stick as a nice going away present, but Edge is apparently no more in WWE, or supposedly his contract runs out in. I kept hearing first it was September, but then Edge apparently said December. Do you know exactly?
I think as of right now it's scheduled to end at the end of September.
Okay, so September. So
from what I know, I may be wrong about that.
But we talked about this last week, and you had said that you don't necessarily think it's going to be his last wrestling match. It's just going to be his last match in WWE. And now the news is coming out that Edge is, AEW bound. So we don't know.
Yeah.
But I have the news article right up here on eWrestling News. Edge defeated Sheamus in his final match on his current WWE contract, which was supposed as a celebration of Edge's career. Wade Keller reported that Edge presented to WWE what it would take to retain his services, but WWE declined to meet his request. This sparked belief within WWE that he is probably headed to AEW, and knew at the time that AEW could offer him, based perhaps on conversations with other wrestlers of his star power, about WWE pay. And Christian Cage and FTR are just a few of Edge's friends of AEW. I was reading something else that apparently right before Edge had made his comeback in 2020, that he was supposedly going to go to AEW right when it started.
Yep.
Because I think he's friends with Tony Khan, and Tony had offered him a good deal, but then WWE, I guess, either matched it or made a better deal. So,
well, yeah, no, because doctors cleared him, and basically, he was thinking about going to AEW. Then, WWE was like, "Oh no, we'll offer you whatever you want." But okay. I'll be honest with this story here. Now, Wade Keller, PW Torch, very credible, and I do believe that if Edge doesn't retire, that AEW is an option for him.
Right.
Now, would I want to see him over there? Yeah, actually, I would. I mean, for certain matchups, certain reasons, I think Edge on AEW with a little bit more of a, not so much of a leash on him, I think that'll be good business. But I can't, now, me personally, I cannot see why WWE will flat out deny Edge on whatever he wants and let him walk away. Okay, they treated him with the best respect possible, giving him a send off in Canada, in Toronto, and he came back as one of the most memorable moments ever, 2020, right? And you're telling me that you're just gonna let him go, and that you're just gonna deny the request to even meet with him? Now, there could be another thing as well, because remember, this merger with Endeavor and WWE is going to be completed soon, and they're going to be cutting costs. They just are. That's what happens with mergers of big companies. They're gonna cut costs. So I don't know. Maybe that could be something to do with that, but at the end of the day, I think Edge, who is 50. No matter how you look at it, I think that I look at it this way. If he comes back to WWE, what does he do? What can he do? There's really nothing of appetizing for me to even look at. Don't care to see him and Reigns, because I know Roman's gonna win. Maybe him and Seth for the world title. Okay, that could be something there, right? But if you do that, I think Edge has to, win the world title, right? But he's been world champion, so many times. Personally, I think AEW, you got more meat on the bone. You obviously got the reunion with Christian, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. Then you got all the, the one-time matches you can do. You could do, Edge versus Sting, maybe, right? Edge versus Chris Jericho. Edge versus, I don't know, who else? Maybe Edge versus Christian. Edge versus Kenny Omega. Who will want to see that? That'd be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you think Edge would be able to work with a lot of these younger guys, though?
He's doing it in WWE.
Yeah, but there's a difference between those guys and the guys in AEW. Because the guys in AEW work a more fast-paced, hard, octane kind of style. Where
let me ask you this. So you got Edge and Chris Jericho. Those two right there. Who, as of right now, who's a better worker in the ring? Who can still pull on better matches?
Edge,
right? So Chris Jericho versus, let's say, I don't know. Well, we're about to get Jericho versus Ospreay, right? Mm-hmm. Jericho versus Ospreay. Ospreay is the top of fast-paced, crazy spot monkey, all that stuff. Do you think that Jericho versus Ospreay will? No, I'm probably asking the wrong person here. But do you think that will end up being a entertaining good match this weekend?
No, and we'll
okay. Well, most people would. Okay, so I'll just say that most people would.
Most people.
Now, if you put Edge versus Will Ospreay in the same situation, you don't think that will be an entertaining match?
I think it would, because Jericho obviously can't work the same style that he could, say 10, even 10 years ago.
Right.
Whereas Edge,
right.
I mean, Edge can work. I mean, Edge does like having his long matches, but it's just, again, my worry of, one wrong kick to the head could fuck him up again. You know what I mean? Which is why my worry about Edge working against a lot of these younger guys who are kind of reckless. Him working a match against Kenny, who one of those like knee strikes to the head could fuck him up. Or dare I say, Sammy, who's had a history of hurting people in the ring, of making the wrong choices. So
I will honestly, I don't see Edge and not Sami Zayn, Sammy Guevara Guevara even coming near each other. But if Edge is going to have big time matches, and he's not going to be there, like, let's say it's not going to be like a full time schedule. It's going to be pretty much maybe the same schedule that he's currently working right now. Right. You know what I mean? So, he'll come in, for like a 3-week stretch and like the pay-per-view or whatnot. Like, you could do something like that. But I don't know about you. I think if he's not retiring and he still want to wrestle, AEW is a better option for him than WWE. Just because of there's really nothing for him to do in WWE. Like, there's maybe, like I say, him and Seth probably, maybe, but like outside that's like there's really nothing for Edge to do. AEW's fresh. AEW's, more matchups. AEW's a little bit more exciting, right? For him to do. He can't use Edge. He'll be Adam Copeland. We know that, right? But like that, to me, I don't think that really matters at this particular point in time because, we know him as Adam Copeland for like years now. But I don't know. I personally think that him and AEW, I think that'll be, it'll be good for him if he wants to feel satisfied and, wants to, being able to do that, let him do it. You know what I mean? But I don't want to see him full time. And, if he's part time, then, kind of like the schedule he's on right now, I'll be okay with it.
I don't know. It's weird because, like, the whole copyright thing with Edge, it's like, I don't know. I would think a guy like him would be able to kind of have that, I guess, leniency of Vince saying, yeah, go use your name. Like, you've earned it. But, I don't know. It would just be kind of weird because, his name, we know him as Adam. But it'd just be kind of weird if he just shows up on AEW. It's like, Adam Copeland! Adam Copeland here in the Dynamite Zone! So that... What's Sexton Hardcastle doing in the Rampage Zone? So, but I don't know. It'd be one of those things of like, I get, like, kind of like you said, I get why he would want to come in because I was which podcast? I was listening to Rene Dupree's podcast, and it's just like, once you get into that mode of like retirement, you start to get bored because you're like, okay, what am I gonna do now? Because I know Edge, he acts from time to time. He's also going to be in a Disney movie. He's going to be in the what is it, the Percy Jackson movie on Disney Plus. So he's going to make that Disney money. So good for him. Again, it'd be one of those things of like, I wouldn't be surprised if he does show up in AEW just to kind of do like a year, just like a tour, and just come in and just, have that last match with Christian. Maybe even do a Edge and Christian versus Hardy's match.
Yeah, I'll be down for that for sure.
Right, maybe even find a way to bring in the Dudleys. Do like a not a TLC match, for the love of God, no, but like just like a 3-way match. Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, just so Tony Khan would be like, oh, I have him on my show, ha. Like, just do that dumb shit.
Well, even at that, but like, people are gonna find anything to complain about. Me, personally, I would not want to see that. And the only reason why I don't want to see that is because that I watch AEW for high-octane, great pro wrestling matches. And throw in like your comedy stuff every now and then, you know what I mean? That's one of the main reasons why I watch AEW. I watch AEW for different reasons from why I watch WWE, right? Like, I watch them, even though they're I guess, competitors, I watch them differently. I look for different things in each show. I don't watch a WWE show like I'm watching an AEW show and vice versa. Because if you do that, you're looking at the wrong things. So in this particular case, I want to see Edge have high octane matches against the best that AEW has to offer. imagine, a program with Edge and MJF. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just the promos back and forth with them, right? Edge and Adam Cole, Edge and Takeshita even, you know what I mean? Like a one-off match. Edge and, Kenny Omega, as I mentioned from before. Edge and CM Punk. That you wouldn't tell me that Edge and CM Punk wouldn't be, oh my god, that'd be great. Oh my god. I would just jizz all over myself if I see that happen.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? you know what I mean? But seriously, like Edge and Hangman, you know what I mean? Like, maybe Edge could be like, hey, yeah, I know you don't like to listen to the veterans, but you are gonna listen to me. Just throw that in there and make something out of it. But yeah, no, I think Edge to AEW would be good. If he goes back to WWE, I'm not gonna be mad over it. I'm just gonna. It's just, to me, it's just uninspiring. It's boring. It's like, it's okay. Edge is back. Yeah, great, good. I still get to see him wrestle, but it's like, what is he going to be able to do? Right after he goes to AEW, it produces a lot of fresh matchups. Kind of like the whole Kenny Omega to WWE thing. Same thing. Like, if Kenny Omega went to WWE, which is not going to happen now, but if that did happen, it just presented a lot of fresh matchups that we've never seen before. So that's my thoughts about the Edge situation.
But what'd you think about Edge's match with Sheamus?
It was very good, very good TV match. Lot of great false finishes. Obviously, Edge needed to win in from the home crowd. I thought it was a good match, very good match. That was the only thing on SmackDown that was worthy of anything. Everything else was, Jesus Christ, man. The show didn't suck, but man, I could have just watched just the main event. And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, the show was very much the main event. That's pretty much what the show was built around. But that was SmackDown, people. So Collision was at the movies. Didn't see Collision. I mean, I know what happened, but so let's go through the card real quick. Jay White versus Dalton Castle. Oh, wait. I got kicked out of the site for some reason. What the fuck? Okay. So Samoa Joe came out and was attacked by a man in a golden jumpsuit, the Golden Vampire, apparently. He hit Joe with a running knee and a GTS, and it was revealed to be CM Punk. And Punk accepted Joe's challenge, said, "I accept, bitch." So that match is on for All In.
Yep.
And the first match of the night was Jay White versus Dalton Castle. And Jay White won.
Yep.
Bullet Club versus the Iron Savages. The Bullet Club Gold won. Did I miss anything? No, Tony Schiavone keeping a straight face while he was interviewing BCG was impressive. The hell, Goof? Goof. Big Bill versus Derek Neal. Big Bill won. I'm assuming that was it says Ricky Starks was his manager, since he has a manager's license, since he can't wrestle for 30 days. And then Willow Nightingale versus Diamante. Willow Nightingale won. Good. I love Willow Nightingale. There was apparently a fan in the audience with a yeah sign from LA Knight. So that's taken over. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Kevin Koo. Powerhouse Hobbs won. I'm assuming that was a squash match. What the fuck? And I'm not on the page anymore.
You're right. It was a squash match.
Yeah, Bleacher's being weird. Bleacher Report's being weird. All right. Darby Allin versus Christian Cage in a non-title match.
Yeah.
Darby Allin won. And yeah, that was the main event. Okay. So overall, what'd you think about Collision? I'm assuming you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. It was a good show. Good show. It was better than last week's. CM Punk and the Golden Vampire, building up for their match at All In, was good, but good show overall. Nothing spectacular, but it was a good watch.
That was Collision. Now we go to Monday Night Raw, which is in Quebec City, August the 21st. Kind of the same thing as SmackDown. Not a bad show, but it was basically a one match show. Specifically Chad Gable versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Really great match, as expected. The crowd was white hot for Gable. They really loved Gable. Gable was getting over. He's being put into a big spot. Good. We are big fans. Are you a fan of Gable? I don't know if I asked you that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, just making sure. We're big fans of Gable here. So great match, great back and forth action. The match ended in a count out after Gable and Gunther were fighting outside of the ring. Gable ends up German suplexing Gunther over the guardrail, runs back into the ring right by the time the referee counts to 10. So Gunther has had his first loss on the main roster. I mean, a count out loss, but it was still a loss. Gunther's still the champion though, but that sets up another match that's going to happen at the pay-per-view.
In a payback, yeah.
Which good, because that match deserves a pay-per-view, and also I think this adds more gravitas to the match. And
well, not even that. It pretty much there's a lot on the line. Basically, it's fucking record versus title, pretty much. You know, because if Gunther wins, he's gonna get the record. Then if Gable wins, he gets the title. Yeah, fantastic match. Some people soured on the count out. The count out victory for Gable, and to me, it's like, well, this puts over Chad Gable. Obviously, it puts him over, and this is the only way. This is his only win that he's gonna get against Gunther, because I don't think they're gonna put the title on Chad Gable. So this is a way to get a win on Gunther, and he's the first one to get it. I think they're gonna start pushing Chad Gable afterwards, so he wins. I think at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I think that Chad Gable is a major winner. And we did read a report that Chad Gable is going to be taken more seriously as a singles competitor, and it seems like they're in the process of doing that. But I thought that the match was great. They're going to have a rematch at Payback, and I believe Gunther's going to win that one and get the record and go from there. But overall, I mean, first hour and a half, I enjoyed. I enjoyed the first hour and a half. Sami Zayn coming out, getting that great reaction from Quebec, and the opening segment with Judgment Day, and then you obviously had the Chad Gable and Gunther match, and you had the good little Tommaso Ciampa interview. Then you had the Shinsuke Nakamura interview talking about, hey, I know about your back and all that shit.
I like that. I like that.
So that Shinsuke Nakamura promo, that's basically New Japan right there. They basically took a New Japan style promo, sit down interview, whatever, and they just did it on WWE. Fantastic shit. Like, get your point across and tell a story with it, and just it was great. I loved it. First hour and a half was great. Second hour and a half,
not so good.
Was downright terrible. I'm sorry. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. What the fuck was that promo segment?
That was fucking awful.
Awful. I mentioned this, and I fucking mentioned this. I said, when this feud started, why is this happening? What they're feuding over? I don't like it. I don't want to see Trish as a heel. Like, all I ask for is, I'm not right on everything, but at least take my field of vision with a grain of salt, and at least be like, you know what? Sometimes I don't like him. Sometimes he's a loudmouth, whatever. But goddamn, he's right on stuff sometimes. And I was dead right on this fucking feud. This feud is the worst feud of the year. Period. In any major wrestling promotion, this is the worst feud of the year. So,
and it's just like Trish. I don't know. Like, when Trish talks, it's like back in the day when she was more full time. Was she always this, like, I don't know if it's green or just like awkward?
No, that was always her promo. Her promo. Now it's like less, because obviously she's like not really full time now. But even at that, like, you've been like, she's not contractually full time, but she's basically been full time since Mania season. She's been basically full time from January till now, more or less, right? Or February.
Yeah.
So technically, right now, she is a full time WWE wrestler. So you mean to tell me that time frame and all the promos that you did between February till now, you have yet to improve on whatever you're doing? I get it in February, March, okay, maybe, but like you're getting more reps in, and now you're about to be the fucking end of August, and like I don't get it. Worst feud of the year to me in any major wrestling promotion. The fans and she's from Toronto, so I get it. So Quebec hates Ontario, I get it. So she was gonna get booed anyway, but the fans were chanting, "We don't give a fuck." In French.
Right, because like it wasn't just like she was getting heel heat, she was getting indifference.
Well, not even that. Her and Becky.
Yeah, like both her and Becky were like but I'm more talking about Trish. Like as a wrestler, you either want to get booed or cheered. When you get indifference, then that's bad because the crowd's just like, we really don't care about this feud. We don't care about what you have to say. And like even like the Quebec crowd was chanting, "We don't care." And it wasn't just like boo, we hate you, you're heel. It's like, no, we really don't care about you. Like, just
no, I know. I think they care about Trish. But they really just don't care about the feud itself. So,
right,
you know what I mean? Like, So the feud itself is getting X-Pac heat. The feud. I don't necessarily think these two women are getting that X-Pac heat because they get reactions when they come out, and if Trish let's say Trish would have came back for the first time in like a year, if she would have came back, she would have got a huge pop, babyface pop, that and the other. She wouldn't got like a X-Pac heat for her. So, but I think the feud itself is getting X-Pac heat, which is definitely not good. And like I said, worst feud of the year, terrible. So,
yeah, legit, anytime I see these two on the screen, I have to change the channel because it's just I don't care. And again, I love Trish. Becky, I'm starting to kind of lose interest in, but it's just I agree. I'm with you on this. This is the worst feud of the year because it makes no sense and it's going nowhere.
It never made any sense from the beginning. It never made any sense from the beginning because they're using Trish to make Becky seem like Becky is the greatest of all time or the best of all time or whatever of this generation. And to me, I like Becky, her promo and her stuff like that. I really can do without. But when it comes to big time in ring matches, she can do it. She can definitely do it.
Oh yeah,
she can definitely put on a great match. Her character, however, on the other hand, is really like not appealing whatsoever. What happened to the man? What happened to the woman that was in the crowd with the bloody face and like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, and I mean, like, I'll take on anybody that. Or what happened to that Becky Lynch? Now is Becky Lynch is like just whatever. You know what I mean? It's nothing appealing with what she's doing right now.
She doesn't even, like when she talks, she doesn't even sound cool anymore. She sounds like a dork.
Yeah, like she tries. You know what? She tries too hard. That's what it is. She tries too hard.
Maurice is saying she's turned into Seth Rollins.
No, I don't necessarily agree with that, but because at least Seth, Seth can be annoying.
He's kidding, by the way. That's what he.
Oh, okay. I was like, I said Seth can be annoying, but Seth is he's in a good spot right now. But maybe Seth Rollins like 2018, 2019. That was like fucking nauseating. So,
but we'll just go through the rest of Raw. The show opened with Sami Zayn getting a hero's welcome in Quebec City for the first 10 minutes. He couldn't even say a word because the crowd they loved him. Their favorite son was back. Their other favorite son returned, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens coming back after a rib injury. So the tag team champions are now reformed or formed again. I don't know how I'm saying it right. They're going to face the Judgment Day later on the show. New Day versus Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre. New Day get the win. Okay match, I guess. And then we already talked about Gunther versus Chad Gable. Really good TV match. And I don't know, Gunther, any match he's in, whether it's television or pay-per-view, it's always the best match of the show. Let's see. I mean, this is kind of a nothing thing. We can kind of just talk about it for maybe like a few minutes. Rhea Ripley versus Candice LeRae. This is a squash. Rhea won. There are people online actually complaining that this is a squash match because they like Candice LeRae. And listen, I don't know how I feel about Candice LeRae. I don't hate Candice LeRae. I mean, for all accounts, she seems like a sweet person. Her and Johnny both. I've never been a big fan of her wrestling personally, and just like I think the people are trying to make the argument of like maybe they should have gotten enhancement talent.
I agree with that. They should have gotten enhancement talent.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because you put a nothing person in that ring against Rhea, it's not going to do anything for her. But you have her go through somebody on the main roster, it's just going to make her look even more dominant. So
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I think so. It's just
no, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. Because if you were to because Candice LeRae, right? She's been off TV. She's ice cold. She hasn't had any wins, right? Mm-hmm. So if you put her in the ring against Rhea Ripley and lose, guess what? Guess what that's equivalent to? A jobber, a local talent. So as of right now, Candice LeRae on the main roster, her stock is about as low as a local jobber. So if you would have had Candice LeRae get some wins and put some wins together and have her go on a roll and then go in the ring against Rhea Ripley and get dominated, that makes a bigger difference. Not just having her off TV for several weeks and she comes back on TV, she gets squashed. It's like, okay, well, fuck. Might as well you might as well just get a local jobber at that particular point in time and do that. Like, now, again, I agree with you. If she would have got wins and put some wins together and start to become a little bit of a win streak, and she's maybe 1 or 2 wins away from a title match with Rhea Ripley, okay, so be it. She gets squashed. Boom. It stops. It was now at the end of the day, I'll probably will still complain about Candice LeRae getting squashed, but at that point, it's a little bit more momentum for Rhea Ripley because she's actually beat a woman who put a win streak together, not just somebody who's just like, oh well, let me just go back out there and wrestle again. Oh, I get squashed in 3 minutes. Like, it's the same thing. Like, okay, what happened at fucking Saudi, right? Rhea Ripley and Natalya. Guess what happened? Natalya got squashed. I know you don't like Natalya or that, whatever, right? But Natalya was put on a little bit more momentum for herself before she got squashed. And that made that particular squash with Rhea Ripley and Natalya even more bigger because of the fact that Natalya was starting to put on, not winning streak per se, but she was gaining momentum. She was looking serious in the ring. She was taking a serious side to herself, and she had that brawl with Rhea Ripley, only for her to get squashed, but that's what made that squash very, very impactful. This year, no one's going to remember this fucking squash, by this time next month. No one's going to fucking care. So, I don't know. I think they could have just got a local talent. At the end of the day, they could pay the local talent, a good, $2,000 come in, get squashed. It would have done the same thing for what they did with Candice LeRae. I don't like that they did that.
No, I stand by what I think. It didn't really bother me, and I guess I could see why it bothered them, but I don't know. Let's move on. I didn't see the Cody thing. I did see the line Cody talking about, JD McDonough. He looks like a Funko Pop. That big head of his, so that was funny. And then the Nakamura vignette I loved. I thought that was amazing. Telling Seth, I know about your back. You're in pain. When you hug your wife, you're in pain. When you hold your daughter, you're in pain. So
great. Such a New Japan promo. Love it.
Seth, what is it? Seth has 2 fractures in his lower lumbar. Is that the official statement?
Well, that's what he said.
So, yeesh. Say what you want about the guy. The guy is wrestling in pain. Next, you had The Miz coming out talking about LA Knight and says that he requested a match against an athletic talent. Akira Tozawa comes out, and then LA Knight comes out to sit on commentary. Akira Tozawa gets the win. His first win in, 6 years?
I don't think it's been that long. This has definitely not been that long. He's gotten wins on Raw within a 6-year period, but...
That's what, I don't know, somebody said 6 years.
I don't know. It could be true, but like it feels like he got maybe a win or two. But to me, he got the win. And in theory, if this was an actual sport, or they treat like an actual sport rather, Akira Tozawa will be on Raw next week, and he'll have another match for more momentum. But that's not going to happen. So, and I really like Akira Tozawa because he's I wish he'll go back down to NXT because he's too good not to be used this way on the main roster when you know that he's not going to be used properly.
Right. But LA Knight continuing to feud with The Miz, which I'm more interested in by the minute. I don't know if they're going to have that match at the pay-per-view. I hope so. Next, they had Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, the new tag team champions, versus Kaden Carter and Kitana Chance. Not really a squash match, but a very quick match. Piper Niven and Chelsea getting the win, and Piper carrying Chelsea on her back after the match. And then you had the main event, Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Judgment Day. And the babyfaces got the win after Owens hit a stunner on Dom. And continuing the mutiny going on the Judgment Day between Finn and Damien. And yeah, it's really about it. I don't know if I missed anything.
But before we stop talking about Raw, there's a glaring issue with this show, and that they don't want to talk about it. But I'm gonna fucking bring it up.
Oh boy!
Over the last, we'll say 3 months. Over the last 3 months, what have we seen in the main event of Raw?
Judgment Day.
Yes, but you are correct. But they're with who are the main catalysts?
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes.
Bingo. That's the issue with Raw right there. One of the issues, not the issue, but that's one of the issues with Raw. You have Cody versus fucking Damien, and Damien versus Kevin, and Kevin versus Dom, and Sammy and Kevin versus Dom and Finn, and every combination possible. It's uninspiring. It's lazy. It's starting to I'm not saying hey, I hate the Judgment Day now, or hey, I hate Sammy, and it's not anything like that. But to me, it's anytime I see that particular match, any of those 3 guys or 6 guys film, I'm I just moan and groan. I'm I don't want to watch this. I just seen a version of this fucking match. You know what I mean? So, I'm glad that Madonna's there because that gives a little bit more life to wherever they're doing. This could lead to possibly War Games, right? But damn, man, it is so uninspiring and so lazy. So uninspiring and so lazy.
I agree. It's like the Bloodline stuff. The Bloodline stuff was more interesting with Sammy in it, in my opinion. I don't know how you felt, but after Sammy got booted out, that's when it was it's kind of losing interest, and now it's quote unquote dissolving. So, but yeah, I agree with you because it's just every Monday Night Raw, the show opens and it's in the middle and it closes with fucking Judgment Day or the tag team champions or Cody, which again, Cody's the top guy. So
yeah, it's fine, and they put on good. There's nothing wrong with the matches. There's nothing wrong with what they do in the ring. They put on great matches. Not saying anything about that. Fantastic stuff that they do in the ring with each other. I'm just tired. That's giving me fucking pizza every day. I love pizza. I'm a pizza connoisseur, but I don't want to eat it every fucking day. You know what I mean? I don't want to see these 6 men in the ring with each other every fucking week. You know what I mean? Give us something different. You know what I mean? Do something different. Be a little bit more creative. You know what I mean? However you want to do it, do it. But it's uninspiring. It's lazy. I just really hope that they really start to think about what they do on this roster as far as how they want. It's kind of like, like in AEW too as well. I mentioned this too as well. They didn't do it this week, and he didn't wrestle tonight. But Orange Cassidy opened up every Dynamite, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, after a while, it's like, okay, like, I know he can wrestle. He's a good wrestler. Well, whatever. I know your thoughts about Orange Cassidy, but regardless, it's like, damn, man. Like, I'm getting tired of seeing Orange Cassidy open up fucking Dynamite every fucking week. I'm getting tired of seeing Judgment Day versus Cody versus, KO and Sammy. It's like, give me something different.
Right. I mean, that's just WWE's MO. Whatever is hot, they're going to put it on the show. They're going to put it on like 80% of the show. So, but yeah, that was Raw, people. Now we're on to NXT Heatwave, which happened last night. The beginning of the show was Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams. Good match. Not a great match, but a good match. Probably the best match that Trick Williams has ever had.
Yeah. And that's really just making my case even better for Ilya Dragunov to being up there for a Wrestler of the Year. Like, he's fantastic.
Him and Gunther are two of the top two wrestlers of the year. Any match they're in is always going to be the best match of the night. But Ilya got the win after doing off the top rope. What is it? He tried to do his move like usually, like he does, like in the ring, but it didn't. But Trick kicked out, so he did the off the top rope version and got the win.
Were you talking about the forearm?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Trick with that nasty kick to Dragunov's face, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he has a good boot for sure.
But Trick has a future. Trick is, me and RJ we always talk about this. Like, he thinks that Trick might even be a bigger star than Melo. If he,
let's not go there.
I mean, if he can get better in the ring, which I think he can. But I don't know. He looks like the kind of guy they like because he's taller, he has a better physique, and he has personality.
Let's not go there. I don't know if he's gonna be a bigger star. Not saying that he won't be a star because he's a star right now. Like I love Trick. He's fantastic. But let's pump the brakes for a second. Let's pump the brakes.
Oh, you never know. But again, I love Melo and I love Trick. Next you had Ivy Nile versus Ava. Did this match even have an ending? Oh yeah, Nile won by submission.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was better than what I expected. So.
Yeah, Ava's got some cake. Gotta point that out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a guy. I gotta point these things out, people. Heritage Cup match: Nathan Frazier versus Noam Dar. Pretty good match. I mean, these two always seem to have really good matches. Nathan Frazier, I like. I'm a little sad that they took away his old theme music, but whatever.
I know they took away his theme music and also Giant Lee's theme music's changed for a while too. But god damn it, like Nathan Frazier had like main eventer type theme music.
Yeah, that theme music was fucking dope. I loved it. But him and Noam Dar won the 2 out of 1, or he won by 2 out of 1 to become the brand new overall Heritage Cup champion. And then of course he celebrated afterwards and I guess he got a notice that they were going to have a tournament to see who would face him, and they're going to bring in opponents around the world.
Yeah, I am super intrigued by. First of all, shout out to Metaphor. I'm really liking Metaphor. I'm really liking this faction right now. They're a little bit over the top zany and even like I said, Lash Legend. Like I like her in this role that she's doing. Just keep her out of the fucking ring. But but this tournament though, man, I'm really interested in because he's saying no one does. Oh, we're trying to get people all over the world. And the last time we got something like this was the fucking Cruiserweight Classic, and to me that's the best WWE tournament of all time is the Cruiserweight Classic. And God, man, I know we're not going to get anything close to that because you have guys like Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. and, TJ Perkins and, all these other guys, even Noam Dar. Noam Dar was in that fucking tournament. That was in that tournament, but, like, if we get something that resembles some of that, then, I'm not going to complain.
Oh, it'll definitely be fun. Next, you had a promo with Tiffany Stratton where she meets future challengers. Gigi Dolan came in, bringing some cake for everybody. Sorry. Kiana James, Blair Davenport, and Roxanne Bettis laid claim to a future NXT Championship match, and I'm guessing there's going to be. I think they already announced there's going to be a 5-way match or a 4-way match with these women.
I believe it's next week.
Okay, there you go. Who do you think's winning that?
It has to be a baby face. I'll probably go Gigi. I'll go Gigi.
I go Gigi too because she hasn't had.
Yeah, and honestly, she's the one that doesn't deserve a match. Just because like she lost. She's like, as Keanu says, you've been losing. You lost against me, but if she wins this match, I mean, I guess I'll give her some momentum. But Tiffany needs a couple more pay-per-view wins before she drops that title. So
yeah, I think it's gonna be Gigi. And then she talked a little bit of shit about Bayley, saying I'm a better NXT Women's Champion than Bayley, Asuka, and Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And then Becky replied on Twitter, "I haven't been NXT Champion ... yet." So I guess
Jesus. Fucking no. Fucking no, I don't want to see anything with Becky Lynch in NXT. Fuck that shit.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Fuck no, man. Like when Charlotte came down and faced against Rhea Ripley. Well, when that shit happened at WrestleMania, Pandemic Man, I was so fucking pissed off. Don't want to see Becky Lynch down there. It does not do anything for anybody if Becky's on NXT.
But it's gonna happen. Whether we like it or not, it's going to happen. Next is a mixed tag match. Rhea Ripley and Dom versus Lyra Valkyria and Dragon Lee. I was really impressed with Lyra. I haven't seen too much of her work, and the stuff I've seen her in, I wasn't too impressed by, but she's really shown me something, and also being in the ring with Rhea helps also, but she was really impressive in this match, and of course Dragon Lee is always good, so can't really say anything new about Dragon Lee. During the match, Raquel came out and fought Rhea. I forgot to mention on Raw, Raquel beat the shit out of Rhea and challenged her to a match at Payback, so we're getting that. But yeah, Raquel came out during NXT and beat the shit out of Rhea, leaving Dom alone in the ring, and Lee got the win for his team, which is good for them.
I really like, and I've been a fan of her since UK. Lyra Valkyria. Really like her, man. I think she has a lot of promise. I just hope that she has a good run in NXT, and if she gets called to the main roster, I just hope to God I just hope to God that she doesn't be stuck in catering. But I just know that if she goes to the main roster, it's kind of like inevitable, that she'll be stuck in catering, unfortunately.
Right. Next is what I'm assuming is your match of the year candidate.
Yes!
Baron Corbin versus...
And they're having the India Super Show soon. Oh my God! Imagine Von Khali versus Roman Reigns in the main event, and Von Khali ends the reign of Roman Reigns. You think it's gonna happen? I think it's a good chance.
I don't know, man. Expected and unexpected in wrestling, but the match technically never happened because both guys are beating the shit out of each other outside of the ring, which prompted Braun to come out and just murk Wagner.
Yeah, he got fucking massacred, and Braun Breaker wearing a nice T-shirt saying "Best spear in the business."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he likes to spear Cora.
Jesus.
Did you get it? I was talking about fucking. No playing. Yeah, Braun's got the best spear in the business because that shit looks like it legit hurts. He just fucking runs through people. But let's see. Dijak warned Eddie Thorpe about getting involved in his business. He's going to break his spirit. JC Jane bonding with Thea Hale over their shared frustration with letting people down. So JC Jane trying to stir the pot, which
maybe a potential partnership. And you need more people for this this women's division here. So hopefully they can do something with that.
Yeah, and I love JC, but I think JC works better when she has a partner, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's by she I mean Thea. I think she's channeling, and again I keep mentioning this, but I just see it. She's just channeling her inner Julia Hart. So,
right. Next we have the main event, NXT Championship. Carmelo Hayes, the champion, versus Wes Lee. Good match. I wouldn't call it a great match. Like, there's something kind of missing from this, but maybe it was time.
Time, and it was a TV match.
And also Lee, like, legit bumped his head, which that looked gnarly. That looked like it really hurt. There was a point where Wes Lee, he was going for a dive outside of the ring, and he legit hit his head, like on one of the guardrails.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, when he was doing the dive, his foot got caught up. I honestly, I think that spot was planned.
Right.
I think that spot was planned. Now, maybe for him not to hit the barricade as hard, but I think that spot was planned for him to kind of mess up through the ropes. But you want to talk about it's gonna go under the radar as far as spot of the year because it was on TV, it was on pay-per-view, but fucking Carmelo doing a fucking fadeaway DDT through the fucking announce table. That was some fucking how people say, oh, that was some video game shit. I mean, like, yeah, sure. No, that was literally some shit you'll see in 2K. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah, that actually looked cool. But
yeah, I mean, but
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it looked cool, but it was still dangerous as shit. So
I'm assuming that we'll probably get a rematch at the next premium live event, which is No Mercy.
Definitely, possibly. Do you see anybody else possibly challenging Carmelo?
I don't know, because I forgot to mention before the show there was a backstage thing with Trick and Mello, where Mello said, a lot of people think my match with Dragunov had an asterisk on it because of the interference that you're involved in, and Trick was saying, so you're saying I cost you the match? He's like, no, I'm not saying that at all, blah, blah, blah. So that kind of, I guess, sets up an eventual heel turn. I don't know what they're going to do. I hope it's not a heel turn, but
again, I obviously that is obviously there, and they very well could be going with that, and they're giving a little bit of early indication. I'm just saying. And what I've been saying over the past few weeks, you don't need to break up every team to end up one guy turn on the other. Every trope in wrestling, that's one of the tropes that I hate very much. And but I will say this: who else can Mello go up against? Now, to me, he doesn't really have me. He does. I'll put in Nathan Frazier versus fucking Mello and, give it to me or whatever, right? But I don't think Nathan Frazier is there as of yet. You know what I mean? Because I want to see him. He just went through the Heritage Cup, and maybe he'll go after the fucking North American Championship. He needs to work his way up the ladder. Tyler Bate. I'll be okay with, but he's having his issues right now with fucking Dabba-Kato. So it's to me, it's there's not really many people right now that Mello really has, with the exception of Trick Williams and Wes Lee. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
I think you can properly build up to that match. Again. What you just said, that the bump on the head was planned. That could be the story of the match, is that Wesley can be like, I almost had you if I didn't get that stinger. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but that was NXT Heatwave, people. So those are all the shows. Do you have the ratings up?
Oh, the ratings? Oh, I have the ratings. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. All right, so last week's Dynamite, AEW Dynamite, 874,000 viewers, a .32 viewership in 1939. They were number one in cable last week for Dynamite. So, SmackDown and Rampage. SmackDown was at 2,094,000 viewers, a .55 in the 1849 demographic. Rampage had 416,000 viewers, a .13 in the 18 to 49. We have, oh my god, what happened to my Collision? Okay, I'll go back on Collision. But we'll go to Raw here. Raw had a 1.591 million viewers, a .50 in the 18 to 49 demo. NXT last night was 720,000 viewers and a .19 demo demographic. So it looks like Raw was about the same. NXT grew a little bit. Collision from Saturday was 482,000 viewers and .17 in the demo, a number 13 in cable. So despite Collision being a good quality show, viewership is not good right now, and I can only imagine it's not going to get any better once college football season starts. So, well, those are the ratings.
Nice. And then we got AEW Dynamite that just happened tonight. Let's breeze through the results of the show, and then we'll just talk a little bit about it, and we can get to predictions, and then news. Or we can do news and predictions, whatever.
Yeah, news first, yeah.
All right, the show opened with the Elite versus the Bullet Club Gold. The match ended in no contest. It was a big brawl. And then MJF had a backstage promo with Renee, which, it's MJF, so he's always going to, crush these promos. Let's see. Ray Phoenix versus John Moxley. Moxley won. Phoenix is now hurt, quote unquote. So now,
we were going. I don't know if I had to send my news story, but Phoenix can't go to Wembley, can't go to London due to visa issues, so they roam off on TV. So Moxley, so basically they hit him with a pipe or whatever. So they roam off TV. So which I thought was good. So
there was a contract signing with Chris Jericho and Ospreay. I was recording on False Count Radio with Andrew Carlick. Shout out. So I had it on mute, but I had the TV on. So what exactly was said in this contract signing?
The usual back and forth. Basically, it was a really good promo from Will Ospreay. I think he's an underrated promo. A lot of people look at his at what he does as far as in ring, and they let that overshadow. But basically, long story short, he made a little few nuggets in there saying that, hey, my contract's coming up in 6 months with New Japan. So he did mention that as well. But he was basically saying hey, this is the biggest match of my life, and I'm being in front of the biggest crowd I ever had, and being my my home country, and it was a very passionate promo. Jericho on the other side, saying, "Oh, this is the biggest match of my life," and because I'm in front of the biggest crowd, and I don't believe that whatsoever. But I get it. You're trying to sell a match, and this, that, and the other, and he mentioned about the internet trolls and saying, hey, the internet trolls doesn't think that can still go, or whatever the case may be. So I thought this promo was pretty good, back and forth. I thought again, now the match this match overall, I think it's probably gonna be a good match. It's not gonna be fucking great, fantastic. It's not my first choices for a match with these two, but again, this matchup here was supposed to happen in New Japan before the pandemic, but it didn't happen. So,
all right. Renee Paquette interviews Adam Cole, and then afterwards, tornado tag match. FTR. Wait. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. Tornado tag match. You had Swerve Strickland and AR Fox versus Darby Allin and Nick Wayne. I watched the whole show, but Wayne and Allen won after Allen. No, Wayne. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Wayne got the the pin on Fox. Afterwards, Strickland kicked Fox out of the group and ended up forming with Christian and Luchasaurus.
I don't. Why did the AR Fox heel turn happen in the first place? If this was going to be the end result, a 2-week turn.
Booker of the Year.
Remember? Yeah, it's not even about that, but it's more about did you see when Sting and Darby Allin went to AR Fox's it was like a local show?
Yeah.
That was super cool, and really to me, I was like, wow, man, they're really trying to get AR Fox to they're really trying to put over AR Fox in this whole feud with Sting and Darby Allin with Swerve, but now this happens, man, it's like you kind of hot shotted, and I get it in Wembley, because I was thinking too, AR Fox is wrestling in Wembley, you know what I mean? He's not a bad wrestler. I actually like AR Fox. I think he's a pretty good pro wrestler, but it's that's not sexy enough. So I guess putting Christian in it's an upgrade. Of course, it's definitely an upgrade. But I didn't know if that had to come with the expense of AR Fox because AR Fox is just turned heel and he's having the biggest run of his career, and it seems like it may start to die down now because of this. So. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but Christian coming out cutting that promo, and he smelled a dead dad in the crowd, and he went after Buddy Wayne this time. So yeah. I mean, this match coming up at Wembley again, should be fun, but again, I don't know if AR Fox's expense needed to happen right there. If this had to come at the expense of AR Fox, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up for the guy, because the guy was going to have, probably the biggest match of his career.
Of his life.
Of his life at fucking Wembley, and then they just decide to replace him with a bigger star, which, again, from a business perspective, I guess it makes sense, but it's just, I don't know.
Well, it's definitely an upgrade, but...
It's an upgrade, but it's kind of fucked up.
So, yeah, exactly.
Especially at the last minute, but...
maybe he has something to do with the outcome of this match on Saturday, or Sunday. So if that's the case, then fine. If he gets an appearance on the show, guess what? He gets a payday. So I'll be happy if he makes an appearance of some sort.
Adam Cole angry during his interview with Renee, fed up with people questioning his friendship with MJF. Which only solidifies that he's going to turn on MJF, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, I'm really high on Adam Cole turning on MJF, and you want to know something too? I don't know if you're going to mention it or not, but the Roderick Strong promo. You know what he said? He said basically either MJF or Adam Cole, they're going to be winners at the end of the day. To me, I think this is a whole ruse the entire time. I think there's going to be a new faction. It's going to be Adam Cole. There's going to be Roderick Strong, and it's going to be Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. So,
interesting.
I think that's what it's going to be. So, maybe the new and obviously as well. I don't know if you know this. The Kingdom in Ring of Honor, you got Matt Taven, you got Mike Bennett, and Adam Cole. That was the original 3. So, yeah, I think it's kind of obvious on where they may go with this.
All right. Next, you had Sky Blue. Looking nice. I'll just keep it at that. Versus Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho got the win. What the fuck else happened in the match? Oh, the Acclaim called out House of Black. A beatdown of Max Caster and Bowens occurred with the return of Billy Gunn, who is no longer daddy ass, but he's going to be badass Billy Gunn. So that sets up a 6-man tag at the pay-per-view, so cool. And the main event, unless I missed something. Soho caught her shot, making it clear she wants to challenge Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship.
Yes.
Okay. Main event time, Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. The Hardys versus the Aussie Open. Decent match. Nothing to really write home about, but just to set up the match. The pre-show match on Sunday. Jesus Christ. Aussie Open got the win. Whatchamacallit? Cole and MJF came out to confront him. They're about to walk away. Then Aussie Open threw the first punch. MJF was about to go for his kangaroo kick, but missed and almost. I think it was Adam Cole that almost super kicked MJF, which kind of pissed off MJF a little bit, and he walked away. Pulled out his dynamite diamond ring. Was thinking about hitting Cole, but decided not to. But instead embraced his brochacho, as he calls him. And so they hugged, and that was the end of Dynamite.
That right there, and that right there with MJF taking the diamond ring out and putting it back in his pocket, not using it. That right there is what Adam Cole's looking for. He's looking for MJF to be very vulnerable and be at this particular point in time, and that's what MJF's saying. Hey, I'm vulnerable right now. Adam Cole's going to take advantage of that, and, we're going to do the predictions, but I think that's going to be the difference, and that's going to be that heel turn that we're going to see from Adam Cole, and we're going to get babyface MJF, so I'm very, if they're, I'm not intrigued by this show whatsoever. There's some things that, that's going to be good, like some good matches on there, but, before we do our predictions, but yeah, that's very intriguing, with Adam Cole and, MJF.
All right, now we're done with the shows. Now we're going to talk about some news. I have a few news tidbits. Do you have anything?
I have a lot.
All right, then we're ready, people. Now that we're on the subject of MJF was on Busted Open Radio and talked about something that you and me like to discuss a lot, which is tribalism and wrestling. Yeah. He says, I'll see fans online, the way they communicate with each other. It's like all out war, and just so you guys know, that's not he keeps saying a lot. That's not what's going on. Jesus Christ, stop saying We're all rooting for each other because realistically, the better the two companies are doing, the more money we're going to make. So stop arguing. We're all here having a freaking blast. I'm watching LA Knight and Cody Rhodes every week, and I'm having a blast. I know everybody else is having a blast. Just like I know that there are fans out there watching Better Than You, Bebe, having a blast every single week. There's so much great professional wrestling going on, and there's more than enough room for it. Clearly, because AEW is about to have the biggest crowd. This is not hyperbole. Hyperbole. Jesus Christ. Wrestling is unfortunately a very hyperbolic sport. The biggest crowd ever in history of the sport, and I'm headlining it. Is there anything else after that? No, there isn't. So. And then Adam Cole is on another podcast where he kind of echoed the same sentiments, where he said that people in WWE support AEW and people in AEW support WWE.
Yep.
So the wrestlers are cool with each other. There's the only feud going on is with the fans. The wrestlers actually like WWE. The wrestlers actually like AEW. But
yeah, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, what MJF said there is nothing wrong. I mean, how come we can't just wrestling in general? It's supposed to be fun. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a getaway, and just picking sides and all that shit. I mean, we could criticize and all that stuff, but just picking sides, WWE's better than AEW or AEW's better than WWE. You have preferences, but it's just arguing for no reason about, or just blind hating a company or blind hating a wrestler. Without even understanding them, because you saw one thing, it's I hate this guy because, he fought a chicken in the middle of the ring. Well, you saw one thing from him, get to know the wrestler and, make a fair decision off of it. Make a fair decision off the wrestling organization. But again, not every wrestling organization or wrestler is perfect at the end of the day. So, I have no issue with what MJF said at all, so.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Other news: Sanchez Escobar was on the 10 Count podcast, and was asked by Steve Fall, I guess the host of the show, if the bout went as planned. Talking about the match he had with with Ray a few weeks ago. He said, the show you got was the show that it was going to be. I believe that is important to present a good show, and I believe that was the case that night. Ray and I went hard. That's what we agreed upon. We have a long relationship. We have a bond. When you have that, you go hard. That's what happens when you go hard. He had a small mild concussion, but he came back, and you know what happened. So basically confirming that Ray did suffer a mild concussion as we expected, and that Ray is, working hurt. So, I mean, it didn't really tell us anything we already didn't know, but it sucks that it happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one last bit of news, and I don't even know if I want to talk about this because it's just a nothing topic, and this guy's a fucking asshole. But Tyrus was on.
Yeah. You can bring it up, but I'm gonna reserve no comment. He doesn't deserve my breath. So
Tyrus is on Fox News. It was it Gutfeld? He's very open about his far right views and said he'd assault his children if they go against his beliefs. He said, if my kids came home and said, Daddy, my pronouns is this, this, and this, he said, my pronouns would be ass whooping. So, and then Lance Storm had the commented on it where he says, I'm going to say this in the most polite way possible. Fuck this guy. So, but what topics do you have on hand?
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay. All right.
I figured you, because you and me usually will have the same topics, so I just picked a few things. So what do you got?
All right. Well, first and foremost, I don't know how we did not even speak on this as of yet, but Cash Wheeler.
That's why I waited for you to talk about it.
Cash Wheeler got arrested last Friday? It was last Friday, right? Last Friday, and it was due to a road rage incident where he was charged for aggravated assault with a firearm, and he had a court hearing that same day. But funny thing was, he was arrested. He was arrested last Friday, but he had a warrant for his arrest on July 28th. And again, like I say, he pleaded not guilty to the charge of aggravated assault with a firearm via his attorney at the court of Orange County, Florida, on August the 3rd. So it's considered as a third-degree felony in the state of Florida. But basically, long story short, he had a bond set for $2,500. He was asked to turn in all of his weapons to the court within 12 hours, and on top of that, he wasn't asked to turn in his travel documentation, like his passport or whatnot. So he's still able. Obviously, if you saw Collision, if you saw Dynamite tonight, that that they're still good for Wembley. So I'll just present this question. So I'll just present this question. How long did Tony Khan know about this? And if he did know, or if he rather knew about this or not, that's number one. And number two, if he did know about it, depending when he found out, do you think it's ethical for him to actually, have this match at Wembley without knowing the exact results of what was going to happen?
I'll say this, because I've listened to different people talk about it, and I've heard not necessarily different variations, but I've heard the same story, especially from the witness, who claims that they feared for their life. But the one thing that always kind of makes me question it, not to say that what happened didn't happen, but I don't think it happened the way he said it, was that the witness claimed that he feared for his life, and then, not Dex, but Cash was waving his gun at him, but instead of taking a picture of him holding the gun, he just takes a picture of the license. And so I'm just like, it kind of makes me question what really happened. And I listened to everybody, listened to Soup cover it. I was just talking to Andrew Carlick about it. And of course I listened to Cornette talk about it because it's Cornette. He's always going to cover shit. And Brian Last made an interesting point about the topic, which was if the prosecutor, the cops ask him, did you wave a gun at, said individual, all Cash has to say is, what gun? Because they said they found a gun on him, but, he wasn't waving a gun. And for some reason, he was being accused of assault, but he didn't actually assault anyone. He was supposedly waving a gun. So all Cash has to just say is, what gun? What supposed gun? Who saw a gun? Like, there are other people on the highway that could have easily seen me with said gun, but this guy is saying I was waving a gun at him. What gun? So
I get that, but if there was a gun, if he does have a gun in his car, then that's like I don't really think that's a good response.
Well, Florida also has they're lenient on open carry, like you can just take a gun with you.
Right, totally fine. But here's my thing. My thing is that a lot of people jump to conclusions about Cash, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna be, arrested. He's like, how's he gonna be able to make it to, Wembley and this, that, and the other?" And to my credit, I was kind of thinking the same thing as well because I was like, "Oh, this ain't good," you know what I mean? But once all the details came out, I kind of calmed down, and and all the details came out. I really thought about it, and I'm like, okay, well, what if he was with his family in the car?
Right.
No one thought about that. What if he was with his family in his car, and yeah, maybe he did wave a gun, but what if it was for protection? Be like, hey, I got my family in the car. Like, hey, you sure you want to do this? Has anyone thought about that? No one's brought that up.
Right. I mean, because I was like you. As soon as I saw the news, I'm like, okay, this isn't good. But I didn't jump the gun, and because I wanted to wait. Because all it said was assault. I'm like, okay, who did he beat? And, again, I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but, it wasn't domestic. So I was like, okay, what exactly happened? Because they kept saying assault. But then when the story, allegedly came out was that he didn't actually hurt anyone. He was just, I guess, trying to intimidate someone or whatever. But you make a good point because it's like we don't really know what happened because now it's just hearsay. We're not hearing from Cash what allegedly happened, and I don't know if it'll probably be a while until we do, maybe because of legal reasons. But the Tony Khan thing, again, one would like to think that maybe Cash went up to Tony when it happened and said, "Hey, listen, this happened," and I don't know if it's going to leak out pretty soon. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but this happened. And at the end of the day, it hasn't affected his visa status, and he's able to make the show. So, again, I don't want to, going back to comparing apples to oranges, if it was like a thing of like he was accused of, let's say he got out of the car and just started beating the shit out of the guy with his gun, that'd be a different story because it's like, okay, he just assaulted another man. I don't know if you want this guy on your card, but it's like, again, looking back on it, I don't really think he did anything that was what you would look at as quote unquote illegal. I don't know.
Right.
That's just me. But
so to me, there's actual people out there that wish that Cash got his visa revoked so that way he would not go to Wembley. Just so that AEW would, like, you know what I mean? Like, we talk about tribalism. That's like beyond tribalism. That's like sick. So just so that Cash wouldn't go to Wembley, so that AEW will be out of a big match at Wembley, and so it's like to me, it's like that's one of the issues with wrestling fans, like right there, like oh you want the one of the, it's kind of like you want the one of the main players from the team to go down. But at the same time, over here on the WWE side, you got fucking Jimmy and Jey Uso having DUIs 4 times, and you're okay with that for them to be on TV? Like, come on, so to me, it's like, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, one's with the gun, one's with DUI, but still, to me, it's you're still having trouble with the law in some fashion. But I'm glad. I'm glad, but as of right now, like it seems like everything is okay-ish for now. But we gotta wait till the details come out. More details come up about it. Maybe there's something else that we don't know about. But as of right now, like on the side of the Tony Khan thing, I thought that Tony knew about this, but because obviously Tony's a smart guy. He has like legal presence around him, and pretty sure Cash, his lawyers probably told him like, hey, I don't think you're gonna your visa's gonna get revoked. I think you should still be able to do your wrestling match, this, that, and the other. Then we'll just focus on that afterwards. So, so I really don't think anyone's like in the wrong as of right now. But again, we may hear something about this again, a month from now, and where something else could be going down. So I don't know.
Right. Until I hear from Cash, it's just like we need to wait till we hear Cash say something.
Yep.
But
all right. Any other final thoughts about this? Here?
No, we can move on.
All right. So off of that, what the hell? Oh wait. Oh yeah, Tony Khan made a comment about it, but we'll skip that there. So next story here. This could easily change, but this is coming from Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer. The long-term plan is to have Damian Priest to be out of the Judgment Day. That's the long-term plan. So, obviously, that's kind of, obviously that's what we've been talking about for a while already. Like, I mean, you kind of brought the idea that, Damian could stay in the Judgment Day and Finn getting kicked out and Finn turning babyface, possibly. I was more into Damon getting kicked out and him being babyface and all that stuff, but
which I think the more and more I'm seeing from Raw, I think Damien's going to get kicked. I don't even know if Damien's going to get kicked out. I think it's going to be a thing of Dom and Rhea come around to the idea of JD joining, and Damien just goes, "That's fine, but if he's joining, then I'm out."
No, I don't see that in particular. I see it as whatever they do at War Games. I think JD McDonough is going to be in Judgment Day by that time, and whatever happens at War Games is going to make that. I think Damien's going to get kicked out during that time frame. That's why I think I may be wrong, but I think they may try to hold this out to November possibly.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. But that's the latest story on that. Next. Well, I got two news stories on some ticket sales. Number one, we got All In this Sunday here, and this is coming from WrestleTix. This is as of the 18th. AEW All In is passes WrestleMania 32 as the most tickets distributed, most tickets sold for a wrestling event ever. Not the biggest not the biggest attended wrestling show of all time, because I know what MJF's saying, but no one's gonna beat that fucking the Collision Korea show, even though they were forced to go. But still, like, yeah. I mean, well, I'm just saying, like, they were forced to go, but like this, like, the number's still the fucking number. Like, over 100,000 people there, like, legitimately.
I mean, isn't that what Tony's doing? I'm kidding.
But regardless, though, tickets distributed there, so looks like they'll be officially the biggest wrestling show of all time, as they're saying. That's what paid attendance. Any thoughts about that? Them breaking that record?
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last week. Good for them. I'll be nice and I'll say good for them.
Right. So speaking of tickets. Well, before more tickets, AEW is currently at over 90,000 advanced pay-per-view buys for domestic orders in the U.S. So it looks like they at least have a 90,000 buy rate. Now, this is coming from Andrew Zarian. He's part of the Matt Men podcast. He's also with the Wrestling Observer as well. kind of like the third man of the group. But I do want to say that I'm wondering where they're getting these numbers from, because is this a total number of like Bleacher Reports and Fight and Spectrum and DirecTV? Is that a total number of all that together? It has to be for them to get that number. 90,000 advanced buys. That's kind of a crazy number. I don't know if I don't want to say I don't believe it, but like I'm wondering if that's just like an estimate or the anticipation for it. But if that number is legitimate, then that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that's good for them, and they're giving more money in their pockets for their biggest show ever. So 90,000 buys.
Nice.
All right. Well, off of AEW for a second, going to WWE. Speaking of tickets, they already sold over 90,000 tickets. So for WrestleMania 40, over the course of 2 days, over the 2-day event, but they WWE breaks an all-time gate record, all-time gate record, Jesus, in 1 day. So WWE announced on the 21st, which was a few days ago. Well, it says on the 21st, but they broke the company's all-time gate record in 1 day. The previous total gross record, 21.6 million, was set earlier this year at WrestleMania 39 at SoFi in Los Angeles. WrestleMania 40, which takes place at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on the 6th of April and the 7th of April. So more than 90,000 tickets that went on sale last Friday. So that's an unbelievable number there between the 2 nights of WrestleMania. Any thoughts about them breaking that all-time gate record?
I mean, it's fucking huge. What else can you say? I mean, it's the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania. We're assuming we know what the main event is going to be, but yeah, nothing has been confirmed. It's just going to be a big night. I mean, big 2 nights for the weekend of Mania. So good on it's like MJF said. It's good for wrestling when these things happen.
Yeah. WWE breaking records for their all-time gate. AEW breaking records for attendance. So I mean, it's the wrestling business is thriving right now, and I can't be any happier because I'm not in the business, but I indirectly am in the business through action figures and memorabilia and stuff. So it's it's very lucrative. It's very healthy for the business, and hopefully both major companies continue to have success. So awesome. Well, I'm not gonna read this story, but we didn't mention it in the Dynamite review. Santana's ready for an in-ring return. I have this setup here from Fightful Select, but he's back. He came back tonight with Ortiz. It seemed like they wherever beef that they had, supposedly, I don't know if it was fully true or not, but where beef that they had, seems like they kind of squashed it, and Proud and Powerful's back, their heels, and I don't know if they officially joined the BCC. I don't know if I will want them in the Blackpool Combat Club. I wouldn't want them. I just think they're probably better by themselves, but Santana's back, so which is great. I don't know. Do you like Proud and Powerful? Do you like Santana Ortiz? I've never really heard an opinion from you about them.
I've always liked them. I liked them because it's weird because it's like they were always like shelved under Jericho's group, and it's like this team is easily a top 3 tag team in the company, but they were just always in Jericho's group, and I don't know. I'm glad to see them back together. I don't know if it's too little, too late for them. Maybe. I mean, who knows? But I'm glad to see Santana back. It's funny because somebody from a parody account said, "Oh, it's Bo Dallas," and it's like on the fucking Titantron literally says Santana, but whatever. But yeah, I'm glad to see them back together. Let's see if they can get pushed into a bigger spotlight. But like you just said, I guess they're with Blackpool Combat Club, which, yay, now they're with another faction, and now they're gonna get shelved again. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if they are officially, but I hope it's just like a one-night thing with them, and they'll they'll just move on to just them being themselves as a regular tag team. So
Hope so.
a couple more things here. Let me see. Just 3 more things here. Dakota Kai's back on the road for every SmackDown taping. She's not cleared yet for physicality, so don't expect her back in the ring anytime soon just yet. That's coming from PW Insider. So good for Dakota. She's it didn't seem like she was off TV that long. So hopefully now she can get her presence back on TV. She's back with her Damage Control buddies, and it's always good to see Dakota back on TV. She's definitely a missed face on TV for sure.
Right. Yeah, and I like Dakota. It's just the problem is she just every now and then gets snake bit with a random injury. So, and I mean you can't really blame anyone for getting hurt, but it's just unfortunately the company has that thing about it where it's like, well, we put them in a big spotlight and they get hurt. What happens? But I'm glad she made a full recovery. Because when did she get hurt? Like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah, around there. Yeah. So
I mean, and she's back a lot sooner than we expected. So I'm glad to see her back. I mean, the damage control thing seems like it's starting to get a little bit more interesting. Because the big thing about damage control is like, where is this going? Like, it's not really getting the reactions that people want, and now it's starting to kind of get a little bit more prominence now that you got EO, as the champ. So, again, good on seeing Dakota back.
All right, and two more stories here. A little bit news topics here. There's been discussion within AEW about potentially working with Mariah May, and also WWE has interest in her as well. That's coming from Sean Ross and Fightful Select. Mariah May, who's part of Stardom, and again, I mentioned this several times in the show. Club Venus, she was Zaya Brookside was in Club Venus. She's not there no more. Mia Shikawa, is there too as well. I don't think you're familiar with Mariah May's work, but if you have a comment about her, I don't know if you want to see her potentially come into WWE or AEW.
I've never actually seen her work. I know she is. I think I follow her on Twitter, and she has a look that WWE would like. She's the hot blonde with a nice body. I don't know. I've never seen her work, so I'm assuming. Have you seen her work before? And is she good?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, she's improved. As soon as she went to Japan, she started to improve. So because she started working that Joshi style. So, I mean, obviously WWE is probably better for her, I think personally. But her going to AEW, I just think that I like if she goes to WWE, she's going to NXT. She's NXT and build her from there. Kind of like Blair Davenport. Like Blair Davenport was in fucking Stardom, and she's doing well down there. But I think if she goes to AEW, she's just gonna get lost in the shuffle, and right. Eventually probably not be much on the show, unless if she goes to Collision, just be on Collision, because Collision right now I think they probably need a few more women over there. You know what I mean? Because you got Willow Nightingale over there, and and you got some women over there, but it's just, I don't really think that roster is really fleshed out as of yet. So if they bring her into maybe Collision and just have her over there, then it could probably work out.
No, we'll see. I mean, we need more talent, and the NXT women's division is like fucking. It's like a gaggle of talent over there.
Yeah, stacked over there. Yeah,
definitely.
All right. Last bit of news story I got for this here is Bobby Roode will continue to work as a producer in WWE in the weeks ahead, and Nick Aldis was brought back for Monday Night's Raw. He's still rehearsing to be a producer in WWE, so he was there last week, and now he's back. He was back this week, basically rehearsing to be a producer, and that's again coming from PW Insider. So. Those are two good names to have as producers for sure. Would you want to take tidbits off of Bobby Roode and Nick Aldis?
Yeah, I mean you have two wrestling guys producing a wrestling show, so I think that helps. Bobby Roode, I didn't mind Bobby Roode. I mean, I liked his TNA stuff, his WWE stuff, especially when he did the Glorious thing. But I think after a while, it's just like, I don't want to say he boxed himself in, but it's just like, at that point, it was just like he was just all entrance. And then when he had matches, it's just like, I mean, you're not terrible in the ring, you're passable, but you're just not that interesting in the ring. Just my opinion. But, I mean, I'm glad to see that WWE still found some value in him. And it's just like, let's keep you around. You have some knowledge that you can provide, for this show. I mean, the Nick Aldis thing we talked about, I don't know if maybe it's a personal choice, maybe he's hurt, or maybe this is why he's a producer at the moment, but it's just like, I want to see him work, because he's younger than Seth Rollins, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And, I mean, granted, Seth works a more high-octane style than Nick Aldis, but Nick, have him have a program with Cody in the meantime. I don't know, but we talked about this ad nauseum. But yeah. I mean, Nick Aldis, he's a knowledgeable guy when it comes to wrestling. So, and I, by all accounts, he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a likable guy that's easy to go along with, and he has that relationship with Cody as well. So, him being a producer helps. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I don't hate it. I'll put it that way. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's all news I have. But I do, before we go into the All-In predictions, I want to go over All-In 2018 real quick.
Oh boy.
Gonna go through each wrestler on the show. Mm-hmm. And really, all I want you to do is say from the time that they were at on this show, from this show here in 2018 to where they're at now, rather if they gain momentum or if they lost momentum from that time frame. So
there's definitely gonna be a difference of opinion on this.
Well, I know, but whatever. I just think it'll be fun.
Oh no, it sounds fun. I want to do it. Do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So pre-show match first, you had SoCal Uncensored versus the Briscoes. So, first wrestler, Frankie Kazarian.
Well, he's not even in the company anymore.
Just in general, he's not in the company no more. I'm not talking about him being AEW, if he gained or lost something. I'm just talking about him as a wrestler from where he was at that time to where he's at now.
I mean, I guess it's fair to say he's lost momentum because even before when he was in the company, they gave him like an elite hunter gimmick, and then he didn't really hunt any elites, so lost momentum.
Yeah. Lost momentum. He's in Impact now. Scorpio Sky.
Lost momentum. I mean, a guy that they tried to do something with, and they gave him the TNT title for a hot minute, and then lost that, and ever since then he hasn't been on the show. He did like one vignette on the first Collision, and that's it.
Yeah. In respect to Briscoes, I'm skipping because that's not fair for you even to bring up. So
right.
He had a 19-person over the budget battle royal.
Oh boy.
To jump to the number one contender for the ROH championship. So rapid fire here. First person, Moose.
He's an Impact, right?
Yes.
He
lost momentum for me because I don't know what the fuck he's doing right now in Impact. So
yeah, nobody cares. So lost momentum.
Well, I mean, I like Moose, but he just lost momentum. Brand Cutler.
He never even had momentum to begin with. So
from the that's true. But from the time of the show, you think he's better off or worse off?
I mean, he has an easy gig. He's just the Elite's bitch boy, and he just sprays people with something. So he's better off, I guess.
Yeah, he technically gained momentum. Technically, okay. Chuck Taylor
lost momentum.
He gained. Because he's going to be at fucking Wembley.
I mean, everybody's going to be at Wembley, but
well, I mean, to me, he gained momentum. So, I mean, not by much. It's not saying much, but like, no one knew who Chuck Taylor was. Well, I did, but not the Americanized. They know who Chuck Taylor was now. People know you know who he is now, so he gained momentum. So, Trip Beretta.
I'm just going to say he gained momentum.
All right, same game momentum. I can't even talk. Rocky Romero.
Is he even in the company?
No, he's New Japan.
Oh, mid momentum. I don't know if that's
that's perfect answer. Cheeseburger.
I guess in the middle.
He lost momentum because he fell to the face of the earth. So,
okay.
Do you know who Cheeseburger is?
Wasn't that the dude in NXT, the skinny dude?
No, he was a black skinny dude, but he was not in NXT.
Leon Gruff, that was his name.
Leon Ruff, yeah. The Hurricane.
I mean, he has an office job with WWE, so I guess game momentum.
No, he lost momentum because he's not wrestling no more.
I don't know. I think if you get in a cozy office job with the biggest wrestling company in the world,
he's not wrestling.
I don't know. I have a soft spot for Hurricane. So,
I mean, I like the Hurricane, but just for the fact of this, like he lost momentum, he's not wrestling no more. So, Ethan Page.
I would say kind of in the middle.
From the time of that event to where he's at now, he's game momentum, but it's not by a ton.
It's steady, I guess.
Yeah. Tommy Dreamer.
He's on Impact, right?
Yeah.
He's lost momentum.
He's a legend at this point, so he's still wrestling, so, I mean, he can't really lose momentum. To me, at least. Here we go. This is going to be a good name. Jimmy Jacobs. Jesus Christ.
Jimmy Jacobs. Lost momentum because he doesn't wrestle anymore?
He doesn't wrestle anymore. All right, here you go. You're about to pop for this one. Punishment Martinez.
Ooh, that's Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Gained a lot of momentum.
Fucking Mr. Money in the Bank right now. Fucking Damian.
Senior Money in the Bank.
Yeah, of course. Fucking was at the All In pre-show, and look at him now. Fucking great, man.
I literally don't remember him being in that match. Jesus Christ, that was
Austin Gunn,
one of the Gunn brothers. I guess it's steady because they at a time they were gaining momentum, but I think it's kind of steady.
No, that's 1,000% game momentum. Former tag team champion. He's part of the Bullet Club Gold. Like he's on TV. Like super game momentum. From where he was at, like no one knew who Austin Gunn was.
Right. But my point was like, yeah, he kind of hit a glass ceiling, but it's not that he's like going down. He's just kind of steady now. He's in a good spot. I'll agree.
Billy Gunn.
He's Billy Gunn. He'll be fine. Gained momentum because he got a catchphrase over and he became daddy ass. So gained momentum. I'll go with that.
Same. Ooh, I think our answers are gonna be the same on this one. Marco Stunt.
Lost momentum. Lost a lot of fucking momentum. He's gone.
he's fucking in hell. For all I know, apparently he has like an injury right now. I don't know if he's gonna like be back in wrestling, but I don't know. Brian Cage. He was on Dynamite tonight.
Yeah, I know he was. Lost momentum. I mean, they're trying to make the guy into a thing, and then it didn't work. So, lost momentum.
From that time to where he's at now.
Well, I mean, he was already a name in Impact.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, overall loss because he was a former Impact champion and it was during that time frame. So I'll say loss.
Okay.
Jordynne Grace.
Oh, fuck her.
Don't make it personal.
Lost momentum. Well, I don't give a shit what she's done. Fuck, I don't care. Fuck her.
Well, I'm gonna say gain because no one knew who she was. No one knew who she was. And she became Impact Women's Champion. So
I mean, she's gained something, but it wasn't momentum.
Yeah, but with that, like, with Jordan Grace, like, I'm not a huge fan of her either, but I can't deny that she's been a multiple-time world champion, or she was a world champion in Impact. So, Colt Cabana
Lost.
Maybe slightly, yeah.
Not slightly. He's barely on the show, so he's lost a lot of momentum, dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't on. Well, I mean, this is before AEW, but like, he was just an indie guy, and he's still an indie guy today. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but but I'm about the same. I'm leaning towards lost momentum, yes, but it's like, to me, it's probably about the same. And second to last, Bully Ray.
Fuck Bully Ray. I guess gain momentum because he still keeps himself relevant. I'll give him that.
I'll say he's the same.
Yeah, he's the same. Steady. Nothing's changed.
And the winner of this, Jesus Christ, the winner of this Battle Royal, Flip Gordon.
I mean, he's not even on the he's not even in the company. So lost.
Well, he was never in the company to begin with. So, but he's definitely lost momentum. Like, he's like, whatever. Opening match for your All-In pay-per-view 2018. You have Maxwell Jacob Friedman lost to Matt Cross.
Jesus Christ.
Matt Cross gained or lost momentum from his win.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give a safe bet. I think he's lost momentum.
Yeah, definitely so. MJF. I mean, that's the most obvious answer here. So
lost. I'm playing. He's gained momentum.
Definitely, he's the fucking world champion right now of the second biggest company. So,
and he's about to main event their biggest show. So
yeah, definitely gained for sure. Singles match of Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell. Christopher Daniels.
Well, he still has a job in the company. He's a agent or whatever the fuck.
He's head of talent relations, but as a wrestler, lost momentum because he's not really wrestling anymore. So, yeah,
he's kind of steady, I guess, if you want to be fair. Stephen Amell. I mean, he's not technically a wrestler.
Yeah, I can't really judge that one there. So
I guess
all right,
just put that as NA.
Yeah, for sure. Next match, women's match for Corner Survival. You got Madison Rayne versus Tessa Blanchard versus Dr. Britt Baker versus Chelsea Green. Tessa Blanchard gained or lost momentum.
Lost because she's kind of been shunned from the wrestling business since then, so she's lost.
Oh yeah, definitely shunned. Yeah, definitely lost momentum. Madison Rayne.
I mean, I guess it's kind of steady because she works in the company, so steady.
Yes, I agree. I was gonna say lost momentum, but yeah, I'm gonna go steady. Britt Baker.
Obviously, I'd be an idiot to say she hasn't gained momentum. So she's gained momentum since then.
100% gain momentum. No matter what we think about her, but 1,000% gain momentum. She's the top woman in the fucking AEW. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, Chelsea Green.
She's 100% gained momentum ever since, especially now with her current or second round WWE. So she's gained momentum. She's been doing fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, got a few more matches here. NWA World's Championship. You got Cody versus Nick Aldis, and we got a bunch of names here that we can go through as well. But so Cody was with Brandy Rhodes, Diamond Dallas Page, Glacier, and Tommy Dreamer, which we won't talk about. And with Nick Aldis, you got Jeff Jarrett, Sean Daivari, Tim Storm, and Samuel Shaw, aka Dexter Loomis. Mm-hmm. So well, first off, Cody gained or lost momentum.
He fucking sucks. Obviously gained momentum.
1,000%. 1,000%. These names here is kind of like, I don't know if I want to say like Diamond Dallas Page lost or gained momentum or Glacier again. Also, they don't wrestle. Brandy. I mean, I guess you could say Brandy maybe lost momentum on Brandy. I guess we could say that.
I mean, ever since she left AEW with Cody, I guess that's when her momentum.
She hasn't been. She never had a TV appearance, something like that. So, I mean, she's gained momentum in real life, but wrestling wise, no. Nick Aldis, who lost the NWA title that night to Cody, gained or lost momentum.
I don't want to say he's lost momentum. I would say in the past 5 years, it's kind of fluctuated with him because, he was the NWA champion for that long, and it's like, yeah, it's impressive, but it's like you're in a company that no one was really watching. So
as of today, August 23rd, 2023,
I think, again, I would say it's steady, but a little bit up, if that makes sense.
He's lost momentum. He hasn't wrestled in I don't know how long. He hasn't wrestled anything relevant. He's right. Lost.
Like I was trying to be nice, but yeah, I mean, he has a job at WWE.
I like Nick Aldis. Like, this is nothing personal about what I'm saying. Gained lost momentum. It's like same thing with Jordan Grace. I don't like Jordan Grace, but you can't tell me that she hasn't gained momentum from this show. No one really know who's Jordan Grace. Who is she? Like you're finding out on this show, and I don't know, but he's lost momentum. I love Nick Aldis. I really like him, but lost momentum. So, Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett always finds a way to make sure he has some type of momentum. So I would say by default he's it's a combination of gaining and also steady momentum because he's in AEW and he's featured somewhat prominently on the show. So
he had a fucking match last week, even though the match was awful, but had a match last week.
I don't know. Say what you want about Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett always finds a way to keep himself relevant, even if we don't like it.
Yeah, slightly gain momentum. Samuel Shaw, Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, he's lost momentum. I mean, there was a point where he was gaining momentum. Now he's lost a lot of momentum.
From this show, you think he lost momentum from this show here now?
Let me explain. He gained momentum because it got him noticed by WWE, and then that's when he started gaining momentum. And then he got released, and he came back, and now he's lost all that momentum.
So you think 2018 Samuel Shaw is better than Dexter Lumis today?
I'll be honest, I preferred Samuel Shaw back then because Samuel Shaw could cut promos and had better matches.
Wow.
I mean,
I will say this. I don't think he's gained momentum from this time frame, but I think it's. I'll keep in the middle, but I mean, yeah. Daivari. I mean, well, yeah. I don't think we should do Daivari, but Sean Daivari.
Skinny women.
He doesn't. I mean, what does he do?
Yeah, he doesn't wrestle, or he's just an agent with WWE now, so lost momentum by default. So
I mean, I gotta support my fellow Iranian, so I'll give him a steady.
Tim Storm.
He's an NWA. He's lost momentum.
You can't just go off that he's in NWA. He's lost momentum.
Nobody watches NWA.
I'll say steady from where he was at then. Like he's kind of like the player coach, and he's still like the player coach. So,
all right,
he got.
All right, fine. I'll be nice. I'll say steady.
But he has a hell of a tan though. Jesus Christ. Alrighty, a couple more here. Chicago Street Fight. You have Joey Janela with the return of Joey Ryan. Shit.
Oh, God.
And Penelope Ford versus Heyman and Adam Page. Let's get those out the way. Joey Ryan. Lost fucking momentum. Fucking dead. Fuck him.
Okay, so let me tell you a story behind when I was watching this match. So I'm watching it, and because I've never seen Hangman wrestle, and I've always heard good things about Hangman. So, and I've obviously heard about Joey Ryan for obvious reasons. And I knew who Joey Janela was by name, but I never actually see him wrestle. I mean, the match itself was okay. And then that's when the spot happens with Joey Ryan and the Dick Druids. after Joey Ryan supposedly died, but his dick was alive. So he comes out with the Dick Druids, and then that's when Betty walks in the room and sees the Dick Druids, or not my room, but the living room when I had the show on, and she sees the Dick Druids, and I had to have that awkward conversation of explaining what the bit was, and she just gave me this look of like, I'm gonna walk away from this because that didn't make any fucking sense, and that's fucking horrible. Why do you watch this shit? So yeah, fuck Joey Ryan. He's lost momentum, and I hope he doesn't ever come back to anything ever again.
Yeah, well, I mean, despite that, him just fucking trying to, trying to seduce a very young Roxy too as well. So that's another thing. But anyway, Joey Janela.
Yeah, he's lost momentum.
From that event, yes. Penelope Ford.
Yeah, steady.
Yep, I agree. Hangman Page.
From that event, I will say he's gained momentum because
yes, he's gained momentum.
He's former world champion. He's treated as a prominent part of the show, even though I personally don't. I don't think he's terrible in the ring. I'm personal feelings aside. I don't think he's terrible in the ring, but yeah, he's gained momentum. I'll say that.
All right. Ring of Honor Championship match. We already did Flip Gordon, Brandy Rose, Lanny Poffo, rest in peace. Was with Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal gained or lost momentum.
I say lost because it's just like this guy finally gets signed by a big wrestling company, and they just treat him like he's one of the other wrestlers.
Yeah, I agree. He's lost momentum because he was the world champion during this time frame. Ring of Honor world champion. So
yeah.
Kenny Omega versus Penta L0 singles match. We'll do Penta first. Penta, gain or lost momentum.
It's kind of weird because I don't know what your answer is going to be, but like, there's a time where Penta was like considered one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world, and then he gets to AEW, and it's just, again, kind of like what I just said about Jay Lethal. He kind of gets treated as just another wrestler on the show. I mean, yeah, him and Ray Phoenix won the tag titles, but that kind of came and went, in my opinion. So yeah. I think there was a point where he had momentum going in, and then it went from just steady to straight up losing momentum.
Yeah, I think he has lost momentum. Not saying he's bad or he's terrible in the ring or anything like that, but like I just think that his stature from where he was at this event, like you're being trusted to be in one of the main event matches with fucking Kenny Omega, and they don't really use him to his full extent. But plus he's with his brother too as well. So, but yeah, I say overall lost momentum. Kenny Omega.
I mean, it's Kenny Omega. What else can you say? I mean, again, I'm not crazy about him, but again, I'd be a fool to say he hasn't gained momentum.
He's I won't say he's gained tremendously because he was already like one of the top guys already, but like he's gained because even the casual people, like even people who come into my shop who are really predominantly WWE, but they know when they see AEW, they know names. They know Kenny Omega, they know Darby Allin, they know names. So Kenny Omega's always the guy that comes up. So for sure. Alrighty, singles match of Mario Skull versus Kazuchika Okada. We'll start off with Okada. Gain or lost momentum?
He's Okada, so he hasn't lost anything.
Yeah, I agree. He was already the top guy of New Japan at this time coming into this event. I'm not saying that he didn't gain momentum because like you're already like the fucking top dog of this organization. Like how much more momentum can you gain? So he's steady by default, but like he's already on the top. Marty Scurll, the villain.
Fuck him. Lost momentum.
Yeah, definitely. He's like near Joey Ryan alley right now. So, All right, in the main event, 6-man tag here. We have the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi and the Young Bucks versus Ray Phoenix, Bandito, and Rey Mysterio. We'll start with the Golden Elite first here. The Young Bucks gain or lost momentum from this event?
Regardless of how I feel about the Young Bucks, I think they have the same matches and everything I see them in, but people like them, they buy their merch, and whatever, they haven't lost any momentum, so yeah.
So they're steady for you.
I'd say steady. They're about the same. Steady. They haven't really lost anything.
Yeah, steady. Not necessarily. At one point, I would probably would have said gained, but yeah, it's steady. Say for me. Kota Ibushi.
I would say steady because
same. Yeah,
steady. He hasn't really lost anything.
Yeah, steady. Bandito.
Well, he was on this show, and then he was in the Indies for a bit, and then he got a job with AEW, so probably steady.
I'm gonna say loss. Now, the only reason I'm saying loss is because that he at this time was a big name. Obviously, in Mexico, still a big name in Mexico, and eventually he became Ring of Honor champion, and from this event to where he's at now, he's lost momentum. He's barely on TV, barely see the guy, so lost momentum. Ray Phoenix.
I would say lost momentum.
I disagree. I think he's gained momentum because from this event, no one really knew who Ray Phoenix was. More people knew about Penta more than Ray Phoenix, and I think this event really launched him. Now, I'm not saying that Ray Phoenix is like a fucking like mega star or anything like that, but from this event to where he's at now, it's gain momentum, and I think it's slight, but I still think it's a gain. So,
right.
And last but not least, Rey Mysterio.
It's Rey Mysterio. he hasn't lost anything.
Yeah, he doesn't lose anything. I'll say Ray has gained a little bit, but again, like he's already on top of Ray. Like, how much more can you fucking gain? So gain a little bit, and I really think like the feud with Dom, and now he's the United States champion. That's kind of helped that. So
right.
So all right, I was all in 2018. So
now we're about to get all in 2023. This Sunday, August the 27th at Wembley Stadium in London, England. Tagline is the biggest event in wrestling history. So, also the 100th anniversary of Wembley. So we got that. Matches that are on the card so far. There might be more matches announced. You never know with AEW. Pre-match or pre-show match, Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships.
I got Aussie Open winning. Mainly because of there may be a distraction of some point with Roderick Strong in the Kingdom, possibly. I could definitely see something like that happening. But if they are going to do what I think that they're going to do at the end of the show, then MJF and Adam Cole cannot be tag team champions. Now, if they win the tag team championship, then that makes things even more interesting. But as of right now, I don't think they're winning the titles.
No, I don't think so either. I think what's going to happen is that MJF kind of inadvertently fucks up the match, and Adam Cole gets pissed off because, the whole point going into this match was that Adam Cole was saying, I've won every single title in Ring of Honor except for the Tag Team Championship. So that could piss off Adam Cole and, just add more fuel to the fire for the eventual heel turn. So, Aussie Open's winning. Next you have, or I guess the first match of the actual main show, AEW World Tag Team Championships, FTR versus the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. This should be a very fucking if they're gonna get the time, but if everything clicks on cylinders, man, this could potentially be one of the best tag team matches of the year. I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks. Just because of we don't know the situation with Cash. And I think that as of right now, I think that TK may want to take the titles off of FTR just in case if something happens. The Young Bucks, despite when they're not fighting, CM Punk, for the most part they're pretty reliable for the most part. When it comes to I don't suspect like Mac or Nick Jackson, like, waving their gun in the fucking, on fucking highway or anything like that. You know what I mean? But, so I just think based off reliability, the Young Bucks, and plus as well, this match is built up as the best tag team of all time and all this stuff. And you know how TK feels about the Young Bucks too. So, that's another reason. So I'm going to go with the Young Bucks.
I have a feeling the Young Bucks are going to win too because this is the rubber match, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, this will. Everybody else might think this is a great match. FTR, you don't have to worry about them not having a good match. They might have to. I mean, again, like I forget which match. I think it was the first match. I thought that was actually a pretty good match. The second match, I don't remember that well, but yeah, I mean, this should. The fans might end up liking this match, so I think this is going to get a lot of time. Next, you had a 4-way match for the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida, the champion, versus Toni Storm, Saraya, and Britt Baker.
I have no idea.
Like, my heart says it's going to be Britt, just because, but I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to want a feel-good moment with Saraya.
That's what I'm thinking too. But so this is my line of thinking. They took the title off of Toni Storm to give it to Shida, so that way she could drop it to Saraya. So that way Saraya doesn't beat Toni Storm for the title. So that way they can still keep their group together. So I think Saraya is gonna win.
And then Saraya.
I don't agree with it. I don't necessarily want to see it, but I think that's what they're gonna do.
And Saraya wants her boyfriend's band to play her to the ring. So,
cool.
Her boyfriend's kind of a piece of shit, but whatever.
Well,
but
I mean, whatever. But
I don't really care about this match. I'll be honest, but
I mean, I don't care either. But I mean, I just think that
they want
the story that the potentially could tell. I'm going with Saraya. So,
yeah, why the fuck not? We'll go with Saraya. Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and now Christian Cage in a coffin match.
Baby faces are gonna win. I think AR Fox is gonna not determine the outcome, but I think he's gonna come out and interrupt and screw over Swerve and get Swerve put into the casket and all that stuff. So, and Sting hasn't lost either, so that's another thing.
Which I hate that, but. Yeah, the baby.
Come on, Sting. Come on.
Yeah, but Sting is 60. Like, he can afford
I know. I'm just kidding. Right.
Yeah, the babyfaces are gonna win. So, bleh. 6-man tag match: the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page versus Kunsuke Takeshita, Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson,
no
Jay White.
Takeshita.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Takeshita. There you go. Who you got?
And do you say? Oh, well, and I hear you say Juice Robinson and Jay White. You may say, but I'm going with let me see. Let me think about this. Because I think they're going to do Omega versus Takeshita at All Out. Because remember, we got All Out the next week.
Right.
I think the heels are going to win to set up Takeshita and Omega for All Out.
Right.
That's what I think. I think the heels are going to win this match. This match here should, if given the time and if it hits all cylinders, could be one of the best 6-man tags of the year, possibly, depending. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the heels.
I'll go with the heels as well.
Yep.
Stadium Stampede. Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, and Penta El Zero Miedo versus Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Claudia Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Santana, and Ortiz.
I see Eddie and Claudio having a match at All Out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. so far you have the Young Bucks winning. This is what I think. Young Bucks winning. Babyface team. So babyface team versus babyface team. Then Saraya. Babyface crowd for her, but a heel. Face team of Darby and Sting. I'm gonna go with the faces here. Really no. To me, I mean, this should be a wild match, whatever. But I'm not really. What's the word? Invested in this match at all. It's just thrown together. I think the Stay Em Stampede match is only happening because of the Stay Em Stampede game mode is going to be released for Fight Forever tomorrow. So I think it's really just a ploy for that. But I'm gonna go with the babyfaces. I really don't have any other indication for that. I'm just gonna go with the babyfaces to win. So
yeah, I have zero interest in this match, so I'll go with the babyfaces. Next is a singles match: Will Ospreay with Don Callis versus Chris Jericho.
Ospreay, going Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Yeah, I'm going Ospreay winning this match. Should be a good match, very good match, I think. I mean, I'm trying to think of what is Jericho gonna do at All Out? Because this is what I see with the whole Don Callis situation. I see Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. Who is Jericho gonna go up against? Because he's not gonna. He's not gonna be now on the show. He's gonna be on the fucking show. So maybe him and Punk. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm going with Ospreay. He's gonna be played to the ring, but by probably one of the best theme songs going today too. So,
speaking of Punk, CM Punk, the champion, defending the Real World Championship against Samoa Joe,
which is still not on AEW roster page, I don't think. But I'm going Punk. So,
yeah, Punk. This will probably be 12 minutes or short.
Yeah, it's not gonna be very long. Yeah,
it's not gonna be like the matches from 04. Next, 6-man tag match for the AEW World Trios Championship, House of Black versus Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed.
Going with the babyfaces here. I really think that they're trying to set up Billy Gunn to get his last championship in wrestling. And I think they want to do a run with the Acclaim and Billy Gunn. I think they deserve it because they've been one of the most naturally over baby faces on this show, and they got their momentum got stopped, but now they have a chance to rectify that and give them the trios championship. Now what they do after that, I don't fucking know, because we know that Tony Khan doesn't do the follow up well at all. So, but I'm gonna go with the baby faces here.
Yeah, same. Have that feel good moment on the show with Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. Next, or lastly, main event, AEW World Championship, MJF defending against Adam Cole, baby.
This is going to be a very emotional match. Depending on what happens earlier in the show is going to be the outcome of this match. If they win the tag team titles, MJF's winning. If they lose the tag team title match, I'm going to go with Adam Cole with Roddy Strong and the Kingdom heel turn. And on top of all that, too, Adam Cole joins the group. They make the new version of the Kingdom. Now here's my thing, though. You got All Out the very next week. What's gonna be like? I don't really, and that's another thing I gotta think about too. Is I gotta kind of step back and kind of look at from the far. Like, are they gonna do the rematch next week? Adam Cole versus MJF and Adam Cole wins again? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Man, because if MJF wins, right? Mm-hmm. Then you could potentially do MJF versus CM Punk. Potentially. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. And that's what's good about it, because I don't fucking know 100% for sure. This is going to be a great match. Very emotional. I'm going to go with Adam Cole, though. which is kind of contradicting on what I just said or what they're gonna do it all out. I don't fucking know. Tony Khan's gonna pull something out of his ass. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Adam Cole. So
I'm going with MJF because I think they want to build up to MJF and Punk.
You may be 100% correct. So, but I may be 100% wrong. So
for both titles. So
yeah.
Right. Again, just tales all this time in wrestling. I'm the real world champion. No, I'm the real world champion. So let's decide who the real world champion is in this match. So, and also it's 5 months or 4.5 months until the end of the year. And, the bidding war of 2024 is going to start. So we don't know what's going to happen. Personally, I think MJF's going to stay in AEW, but who knows? But,
But on top of that, too, as well, I don't know if you heard Adam Cole's promo last week. He basically said that, I need to beat you, MJF. I need to become world champion. It sounded very Austin-ish for WrestleMania 17 when he said, I gotta beat you, Rock. I gotta beat you, more than you can imagine. And there can only be one World Wrestling Federation champion. With all due respect. So it has very WrestleMania 17, but I'm not comparing to WrestleMania 17 by all means, but just like what he said and kind of the cryptic stuff with Roddy Strong tonight. I mean, I may feel differently about this match tomorrow than I may feel differently about the match again on Saturday, that I may feel even more differently about the match again on Sunday. So I may be flipping back and forth. But as of right now, I'm going to go with Adam Cole and with the heel turn and the new version of the Kingdom. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. So,
hey, you never know. I mean, Sunday is going to be full of surprises. I mean, the main event I'll be honest, is the only match that has my interest. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. But that's all up, people. Let's see. You have time for guess the card?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Just saying bye to the All right. So, guess the card. So, kind of like last week, I decided to spice it up a little bit. So I have a WCW one. I have actually I have two WWF ones. I have a TNA one, and I have a Ring of Honor one.
Okay.
Which one do you want to start with?
You start with WWF. That's fine.
All right. Now let me do this one. So here we go. So if you already know the card, just go ahead and throw in a guess if you just want to wait till I get to the main event. Flash Funk versus Leaf Cassidy.
Sounds like 96, 97.
Tag Team Championships, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog with Clarence Mason versus Fake Razor Ramon and Fake Diesel.
Oh, that's definitely 96, okay.
Mark Merrow versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
The Undertaker versus the Executioner in an Armageddon Rules match.
This is definitely in your house pay-per-view.
Psycho Sid versus Bret Hart for the WWF Championship.
Yes, this is definitely in your house pay-per-view.
Do you want me to continue or do you want to guess?
Well, wasn't that the main event?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is in your house. That's in your house pay-per-view, I know that. That was 96, I know that. Mm-hmm. Maybe late 90s, because it was champion Psycho Sid, right?
Yeah.
Champion Psycho Sid. 96. Late night. So this is after. I don't know the tagline. I just know it's the In Your House. I don't remember it. I don't know the tagline for this one, but I know it's In Your House. This was after Survivor Series 96 when Sid beat Shawn. So this had to be in December, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know the tagline. I don't remember it. But I know it's In Your House. That's all I know.
So it's
I don't know why. Yeah.
It's In Your House 12 hashtag or tagline. It's time.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that one, but I just know it was in your house. Was that in December of '96?
Correct. December 15th. Care to guess the venue?
Nah, I wouldn't have any idea.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
All right.
All right, so we got that. What do you want to do next?
We'll do a WCW.
All right, let's see what I got. All right. The first match that opened the show, Fit Finlay versus Chris Benoit for the television championship.
97, 98, okay.
Lex Luger versus Bryan Adams in a singles match.
Maybe Wolfpack versus Hollywood, maybe? Okay.
Battle Royal to determine the number one contender for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Cyclope won by eliminating Juventud Guerrera.
Sequel play.
Singles match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho.
Sequel play was ooh. This is 98. It's either I'm not guessing yet. It's either Super Bowl or Slamboree, one of those two, but keep going.
In a Bowery death match, Diamond Dallas Page versus Raven.
Raven, yeah. Okay.
Eddie Guerrero defeated Ultimo Dragon.
Nice.
Goldberg versus Saturn for the WCW United States Championship.
Yeah, okay.
Bret Hart versus Randy Savage with Roddy Piper as the special guest referee.
Okay.
And the main event, Tag Team Championship, Sting and the Giant defeated the Outsiders.
I want to say Slamboree 98.
Correct.
There you go.
Care to guess the venue? It's up east.
It's not DC.
No.
Baltimore.
Warmer?
Not Philly.
I'll give you one more guess.
Not Boston.
Massachusetts, but it's in Worcester.
Yeah, okay. Worcester. Yeah, okay.
Worcester. And, care to guess the month?
Oh, it'll be May.
May 98. There you go.
Yeah. Slamboree was always in May, so.
All right, what's next? What do you want to do next? We got 3 more.
Another WWF. What you say? You have a Ring of Honor. I'm not gonna guess that Ring. Just do the Ring of Honor because I'm probably not gonna know it. So.
All right. Well, this is actually the first ever Ring of Honor pay-per-view, apparently. So.
I'm not gonna know it.
Well, let's try. Brent Albright defeated Tank Tolan in a singles match. Takesha Morishima defeated BJ Whitmer for the Ring of Honor Championship.
That's the second match?
Apparently.
Jesus. For the Ring of Honor Championship?
Ring of Honor World Championship.
What the fuck?
Actually, it was the first match.
What the fuck?
The first match I mentioned, I think, was a pre-show match. So this is the first match.
Okay.
Naomichi Morofuji defeated Rocky Romero. Okay, what does D mean? D means, dark match. Okay,
Dark match.
Okay, so... Alright, Tag Team Championship match for the tag titles. The Briscoe Brothers defeated Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Sydal.
That must have been one hell of a match.
Probably. Roderick Strong defeated Delirious.
Okay.
And the main event, Takesha Morishima and Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness and Kenta.
It's 2002 or 2003. I don't know. I don't know the name of the show. RH Begins. I don't fucking know.
It's 2007, and the event was known as Respect is Earned.
2007? Okay.
It was apparently taped in May 12th, but it aired on July 1st. Was
their first pay-per-view?
Apparently.
Okay.
It was at the Manhattan Center in New York.
Okay, fair enough. I know they had a lot of other shows prior to them, but I guess they weren't official pay-per-view shows, so. Okay.
So, let's do TNA. All right. Let's see. All right. First match, Ultimate X match to determine the number one contender for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The Latin American Exchange, Homicide and Hernandez versus Triple X, Senshi and Elix Skipper.
2006, 2007. Okay.
Fight for the Right Reverse Battle Royal. Wasn't that voted as the worst match of the year that year? Eric Young won. So, yeah.
Is there any other participants in it?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you want me to mention it. Robert Roode, James Storm, BG James.
It will help me. It will help me, like, kind of.
All right. Robert Roode, James Storm, BG James, Kip James, Lance Hoyt, Jimmy Rave, Chris Harris, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Kaz, Petey Williams, Junior Fatu, Havoc, Shark Boy, and Sanjay Dutt.
All right.
TNA World Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles and Tomko defeated Team Pac-Man. Ron Killings and Consequences Creed with Adam Jones.
Team Pac-Man. Oh my god.
Singles match for the TNA X Division Championship. Jay Lethal versus Christopher Daniels.
Okay.
2 out of 3 Falls tables match. The Steiners versus Team 3D.
The Steiners versus... he says the Steiners versus Team 3D.
In a 2 out of 3 Falls tables match.
Oh my god. This I think OSW review one of these this show in particular actually, but I just can't think of the name of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, 4 more matches. Gauntlet for the gold to crown the first TNA Women's Knockout Champion. Gail Kim won by eliminating Roxy Laveau.
Okay.
Singles match with Matt Morgan as special ringside enforcer. Samoa Joe versus Christian Cage. Monsters Ball match. Abyss defeated Raven, Rhino, and Black Rain. And the main event was for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Sting versus Kurt Angle.
Dude. Sting versus Kurt Angle in the main event.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus. 2007, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
Well, when is it's not Destination. Well, they had Destination. It's Destination. It has to be Destination X then. Because
Nope.
there was a no.
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, no, it wasn't Destination X because it wasn't for the X Division Championship.
Nope.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not guessing Destination X. I don't know. Is it 2000? Is it 2007?
It is 2007.
Dude, I have no idea. It's not Sacrifice. It's not Sacrifice. This is not Slammiversary or No Surrender. I'm gonna go with that.
Bound for Glory.
All right.
October 14, 2007, in Duluth, Georgia, at the arena at Gwinnett Center.
All right. I was mistaken.
And last one, another WWF one, actually. All right, let's see what we got. First match on the show, Rikishi versus William Regal.
Sounds like 2000. Okay.
In a 2 out of 3 falls for Kurt Angle's Olympic gold medal, Kurt Angle defeated Chris Benoit. 2 out of 1.
Fine.
Triple threat hardcore match for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Rhino versus Big Show and Test.
You said it was a 2 out of 3 falls match for Angle and Benoit, right?
Yeah, for Angle's gold medal.
Oh, for the Angle's medals. Okay.
And triple threat hardcore match for the Hardcore Championship. Rhino versus Big Show and Test.
Fine.
WWF Women's Championship. Chyna versus Lita.
Fine.
Chain match for the Intercontinental Championship. Kane versus Triple H.
It was maybe 2001.
Tag Team Terminal match to determine the number one contenders for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho versus Edge and Christian.
Okay.
And lastly, main event, no holds barred match for the WWF Championship. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. Actually, let me go back to something. So the Tag Team Terminal match, the participants were the APA, Dean Malenko and Paris Saturn, the Dudley Boys, X Factor, the Hardy Boys, Chris Benoit and Jericho, and Edge and Christian. Jericho and Benoit were the winners. But,
so if this is if that Intercontinental Championship match really helped out, because that's 2001, and that means the two-man power trip was happening, and Triple H was the Intercontinental Champion. I think Triple H got injured in June.
Yeah, it was right before the invasion.
Right before the invasion, injured. So this may have to have been May or April. April would have been. May. So April would have been WrestleMania and Backlash. So I don't think so, because in Backlash, if I remember, they had the two-man power trip win the tag team titles in the main event. So this would have been the next pay-per-view, May, which May was always Judgment Day. So by process of elimination, I'm gonna go with Judgment Day, 2001.
Correct.
Yeah, that's just by process of elimination. So, yeah. Care
to guess the venue?
Don't know. I'm gonna say they were somewhere in the Midwest. I'm gonna go with Minneapolis.
Way off. They were in the West, but Southwest, Sacramento, California.
That's not Southwest. That's Northern California.
Whatever. Anyways, I'm tired. But Sacramento, California, at the Arco Arena, where the Sacramento Kings played. So that's all the cards I have.
Yep. I don't have any cards this week.
Oh, boo. All right, so that's the show, people. We did we did 2 hours and 52 minutes. So we got a good show out of the way, and this weekend's going to be all out. So good show, guys. Good show, Justin. Thank you for being on here as always.
As always, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely appreciate you. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all of our friends. Wrestling Soup, of course. Mish, who keeps the lights on here on this show. Wrestling Soup is every Thursday, people, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It'll be on tomorrow, so of course listen to that. I was on False Count Radio with a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, Andrew Carlick. That already dropped, so give that a listen. We had some technical issues, but we got through it. And of course our friends RJ, Monty, Ruben Prime, Jeff Littman, me, RJ, and Monty do a show every Sunday called Friendly Neighborhood Marks. So I'm not sure if we're doing one this Sunday because of the pay-per-view, but we'll see what we can do. But of course, Jeff Littman with his 57 shows that he does, primarily Hammerlock Hangover, Garden of Doom, Garden Views. Listen to that. And of course, Steve Pena as co-host, who's a little delusional at times, but he means well. I like Steve. Let's see, Wrestling Court with Julian and Rob, and let's see, Trez. Shout out to Trez, Kevin Castle, of course. Don Tony, the great Don Tony, much respect. And John Draper in his podcast, Breaking the Apocalypse. Shout out to him, Bisho, Brian, Shaheen. And if I'm forgetting anybody, please forgive me. But thank you to everybody that supports the show, that downloads, that listens, that shares, that comes in the chat room. Thank you all. And you know where to find me. I'm not a very hard man to find. Just type in Drew Yari. I'm the only Drew Yari I know, so who knows. But that's enough about me. How can they find you, Justin?
Yes, of course, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. I may start tweeting on Twenties, I don't know, but it's my business, so I probably keep like wrestling thoughts and to myself. Spinebuster Tees. www.allintwrestling.com. Check it out. We got the summer sale still going. We're gonna have a fall sale going up very soon as well, 10% off. Get your get your t-shirts sent to you via FedEx or U.S. postal mail, whatever. And of course, if you're in the San Antonio area, if you're in Texas, I have people visit me from Houston already, which is kind of crazy, and Dallas, which is crazy, just to come to my shop, which is kind of nutty. But yeah, if you're ever in the area, come visit me at the Wonderland of America's Mall, Spinebuster Tees, located in the little shops. And come and check out the wrestling store as well, and see what I got. Also as well, thank you for supporting me here on this podcast. Supporting Drew. This is a great Wednesday. Every Wednesday is great as well. So yeah, definitely help Drew with the downloads and clicks and all that stuff. You can find them on YouTube and download on Google Podcasts and Spotify and all that great stuff too as well. So
yes, sir, like you said, Wednesday is the place to be here in the Wrestling Soup Discord on this chat room. The Experience, the newly named Experience.
As I always said, be a friend, tell a friend, let people know about this podcast, invite them in, check out, I'm pretty sure Drew wants to build community here. So,
yes, sir.
So anything you can do to get the podcast out there and let people know about, make this appointment ready podcast form every Wednesday after Dynamite.
Yes, sir. I mean, we got listeners all around the world, as you can see. We got listeners growing in India, in the Congo, in the Dominican Republic, in Japan, Asia, Canada. So we got a fast growing. We have a fast fan base here, and like I said, the show is called The Experience. It's no longer the Drew Yari Show. It's not about me. It's about everybody. This is for everybody. The Experience is for everybody. If it's not just me, it's Justin. And yeah, I'm the host of the show, but I don't like calling Justin co-host because it just sounds a little demeaning, because Justin is as important to the show as I am. We both make the show better. And I like to think we both make each other better on the show. So
absolutely,
that's why it's The Experience, because it's like Mish said. It's like Mish said, everybody has a show, but there's very few that have an experience. Like, the experience is for everybody. If it's not just me, it's Justin. If it's not Justin, it's RJ. If it's not RJ, it's, Ruben. If it's not Ruben, it's Littman, whenever he is not doing 58 shows. If it's not Littman, it's, Monty, whenever he's on here. So that's why the show is called The Experience, and I'm glad I renamed it The Experience at the behest of Mish. But anyways, guys, we will see you next week, same time, same channel. And whereas on that show, we will be reviewing All Out and doing predictions for All In. So we got
we just did predictions for All In. We're going to be doing predictions for All Out.
we're going to be in and out for the next few weeks, but it's going to be a fun show, people. But anyways, guys, it's about to be midnight. I need to take a shower before I go to bed. But again, Justin, you're the man. Thank you for being on here every week. Couldn't ask for a better host. So, anyways, guys, take care. Have a good night. Be safe and enjoy All Out this weekend. And peace out.
Peace.